let's try this again. Because I keep fucking us up. Um, so yeah, there's some. It's football season. Let's just call it. It's sports season. It's sports season time. And I wanted to start off by talking about records that won't be broken, or they say probably won't be broken. So we have in basketball, Boston winning 8 straight titles. That seems like that's probably not going to be broken.
Probably not. But the Bulls could have done it.
Bulls, yeah, Bulls could have probably done it. Yeah, or at least tied it. Then we got Brett Favre throwing 405 interceptions. I think that could be broken. I think because they're adding more. You know, we got more games now.
Yeah.
You know, I got a feeling that record's going to get broken. We should find out one day.
Yeah, I wonder
who's the
how much
closest.
that is this season. I know early on he was 50-50 for a little bit. Then he had that year at the Jets was like really good.
What's going
He
on?
had low interceptions. It's crazy to think how he was on the Jets and actually pretty successful at first.
And then we got Wilt Chamberlain averaging 50.4 points per game.
That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's unbreakable. And then Queen Elizabeth reigned for 70 years. I don't think that's going down. And
her is definitely not breaking that.
that motherfucker's 73 himself.
He's mad as hell. He's like, now I'm finally king.
So
Maybe get enjoy it. He might have a 5-year reign. Who's next?
William. So basically,
Is that the ginger?
no, that's Harry. Harry got the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Harry knew he was like,
I think Harry's playing for Washington.
yeah, I saw.
He looks-
So, like, we were talking about this one day. Oh, and for those of you, if you've been living under a rock, the Queen is dead. So that's what we're referring to. She reigned for 70 years. Kudos to her. You know, I think she wasn't like nice to black people, so I probably shouldn't fucking care. So I don't really care.
Way to be born into privilege.
Yeah, and
She didn't do anything to become the queen.
I mean, you know, her mama got fucked. Whoa. But like, it's fucked up how that goes, because it's like she had William, he's the or Charles, he's the oldest, and then I think there's Andrew and some other little bastards running around, but none of them will ever sniff the throne, because as soon as Charles had William, then it immediately goes down to him. And I'm sure Harry was like, you know, probably talked to William, was like, you know, hey man, you know, we should maybe, I don't know, share it. And William's probably like, bitch, ain't no cocaine around here. What the fuck are you talking about? You know, as a matter of fact, just to fuck you over, I'm gonna go marry this fucking cute broad over here and have a kid. And as soon as William's kid was born, Harry's immediately eliminated. Unless Harry goes all in and just fucking wipes him out. Like it's 9/11. All right.
Cancel culture.
So, how you been, my friend?
Busy week. I don't recommend working until 2:30 in the morning. It fucks your whole week up.
I was up to 3:30 jerking off.
That's
Several nights in a row, dude. It's a lot of work,
several
man.
nights? Dang.
It was like 3 nights in a row, dude. It's a lot of work. I'm telling you.
Well, for some it is.
I mean,
you have a whole...
plus I'm not like a monster. I don't like just like skeet all over the place and then pass out. Like I clean up. You know, I get done. I go take a shower. I feel fucking filthy. I feel like, you know, I'm a sinner.
Guilty.
That post-nut clarity, it's like, oh, what did I do? And then I go hop in the shower, and then, like I'm just sitting there like screaming at myself, like, why? It's 3:30 in the morning.
Then you gotta go make a sandwich.
No, I actually go bowl of cereal.
Something.
Usually Rice Krispies.
You'll be completely full once you do.
Oh yeah, no. Then I
I
pass out right after that.
You're starving.
Yeah, it was like, you know, you're exhausted, and it's like, all right, cool. Yeah, you're full. Make a bowl of cereal. Then the itis kicks in. Pass out. That's like when I win the lottery. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jerk off. First off, out of excitement.
Keep the ticket away.
But second, that's gonna help me clear up any dumb decisions I was gonna make, like just blast off all over the place.
There was a movie or something. Someone suggested you make no decisions until you do that.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. Yeah, if you got a tough decision to make, go jerk off, and then whatever you're thinking after that, that's the real decision. because you got fucking jizz brain. So it's like, and I think that is true. I think there's some truth to that because, like when I like have to make tough decisions, like when I have to decide between two jobs. I went.
That's what you decided.
Yeah, I went and jerked off, and then the one.
Oh, no, no.
And honestly, the first thing I thought about after I was done was the one job, so I took that job, and it worked out for me. So, like, look, man, life is tough, so you got to make the tough decisions the right way, and that's by jerking off. So yeah, that's all I had to offer.
Otherwise, we're moved in for the most part. We have one maintenance issue in our master bathroom. There was some moisture on the ceiling.
You got it like a fan or?
Yeah, but it shouldn't have happened this early. Like, and then you can see clearly it was like plastered and painted over whoever was there before us, so it's probably leaking a little bit. And then there's water underneath the floorboards. So last time that happened in the place I was living, there was a leak in the wall, and it ended up being a pretty bad leak. So I'm trying to get them to find it. Right now, they just left the big fan in my master bathroom since Monday. I'm pretty sure, and then they closed the ticket. So I'm pretty sure they just forgot about it. So I opened another ticket.
Yeah,
You left your fan in the bathroom, and the problem's not fixed.
It's like, so y'all gonna do this or not? Hey, I've called in a couple things for you from the other place. So there's something. I think it was something with one of your like your bathroom door maybe, or maybe the ceiling or something. I was like, yo, call that in. You're like, I'll do it, and then you did. And I was like, so I called, and I was like, yeah, I need some maintenance done. Like, yeah, what's the address? I didn't remember your address. I was like, hold on.
Well, so the other day too, the water pressure was 0. It was like someone turned off the water, and I heard, all right, that's a maintenance emergency. So I called the number, and music was playing. No one even answered. But then, while I'm on the hold, whatever, the music playing, I turn it on again, and it works. I'm like, I guess
They
I'll hang
knew.
up.
They knew. They were like, oh, this motherfucker calling about the water pressure.
Turn it back on.
Well, I mean,
Otherwise, everything else good. We got the newer TV to replace the broken one, and the newer one's actually far better, so that kind of worked out.
that usually is how it works.
So the other one wasn't that old, so it's significantly better. Because, like, I mean, you can get a really good TV cheap, but where it struggles is like the fast, like a football. If it zooms in on the football spinning, it'll look a little blurry.
Nah, I don't know about all that shit.
Decent.
I just get TVs to watch
huge.
them.
It's a 75-incher.
Well, they do say size don't matter, but they lie.
So next week's Detroit.
Yeah, I'm coming through. Hey, so I'm excited right here. We watching the game in the background. They bringing Quantum Leap back, son. Dude, I'm so happy. Like, when I saw that, my nipples got hard.
Is that the one we have the video of him and the special body?
Yeah, he's like, I'm retarded.
Oh.
Oh, God.
And then it showed him looking in the mirror and he sees what he's really like.
Yeah, it's a
That
kid with a Down syndrome.
Yeah, able to play.
I mean, he wasn't being mean about it.
He didn't have to say it that way.
Yeah, he did. He had to say, oh my God, I'm retarded. Because that's what it was. It was the 80s. It was okay to say that.
But the mirror image, what he's saying.
Yeah, that was kind of fucked. I mean, it was a great show, though. I love that show. That show, I got emotional a few times watching that show. Like, the joint where he leaped back into his body as a kid, and he knew his brother was going off to Vietnam. He's, like, trying to, like, do everything to change it and stop it from happening. That got me a little emotional. And then the one where he leaps into one of the soldiers' bodies at Vietnam, and he sees homeboy, Al. It's like, oh shit, like, there's a lot of that show that really fucking fucked with me. I don't know that I ever saw the final episode, though. It's not that I don't have the opportunity, it's available. I just never made it that far. It's like, I'll watch, like, this show is so great, and I'm like, I'm kind of bored. Like, I'll go watch something else. Like, and then I'll come back to it, and it's like, fuck, I forgot, now I gotta watch all over again. So, yeah.
I think I've seen very little of that show. I started, Bay had never seen the pirate show, and so I started rewatching it. I forgot. Dang, I was like, God damn, I love this show. But I was surprised she got into it right away because I feel like it starts a little slow. So I was like, you gotta give it a few episodes. But she was in all in right away.
What show?
The Black Sails.
Oh.
And we watched Maverick again. So I own it now. Oh, I don't know if there's a way I can have you see it. I wish I had
No, I'm sure there's way. Like I know I have ways because I can say, Stevie, I'm gonna turn on something on Movies Anywhere. I have to watch it at the same time as you, and we can watch it together from a distance.
Yeah, that's one of the features of the Oculus. Is you can have you guys with as many friends as you want could all sit in the same theater together and watch it on a big screen, and one person could host the actual video. It's just wild. As I went into one of those rooms just to see what it was like, and I didn't know anyone else was going to be in there, right? And I sit in the seat, and it's kind of caricatures of yourself if you're looking around. So it's like you just see arms and a head. And I look to the side of me, and it's the exact same time someone else does the same thing to me. And I'm like, is there a person there? And they're like, yeah, I'm here. And I'm like, they're talking to me. I'm like, and you just see us going like this to each other. And then I was like, I don't like this. I'm out.
I'm gonna put us on a brief pause. I just figured something out. Can you fucks hear us a little bit better now?
So much better.
Don't answer. You know you can. Sorry. All right. Anyhow, yeah, Quantum Leap retarded. Okay. So yeah, it's the NFL season. We're kicking off week 1. So
a wild ass week.
Yeah, let's go. Well, we got to pick 4 games. So
it's gonna be tough because there's a lot of.
That's why I said we got to pick 4.
One play games.
Doesn't matter. You got to pick 4.
How are you doing in fantasy?
I think I'm winning. I don't know. I was winning, but I started off rough. I started off real rough. Actually, in my other league, I had Dobbins playing, and Kittle's playing. Both fucking zeros, but I'm still smashing the other dude by like 70. He has no one else left. So, yeah, that's a thumb in his butt. Let's see.
Just looking at since it's the Beer Club League, Aaron Epps looks like he's going to win versus the untested rookies.
Oh, no, I was talking about just like the actual games in the league. I don't care about our league.
Yeah, I was just looking at it, what we're doing. Oh, yeah, you're in a close game right now, but you should win.
That should, but you never know. I mean, Dak could go off and have a big game tonight. Metcalf could have a big game tomorrow.
Unless I get negative 20 from Pollard, I already won. But with Bea, the starting running back for the Ravens was Drake. He looked all right. The Jets' defense looked very good. Joe Flacco did not.
Good old Flacco.
There's still some Ravens fans arguing that he's the better quarterback.
No, he's not. So it's funny that this week 1, you had a lot of quarterbacks playing against their old teams. Well, I say a lot, but it was only a couple. I mean, you got Flacco playing the Ravens. You got fucking Baker playing the Browns. And you got Russell playing the Seahawks.
Yep. So that's tomorrow.
That's fun. Fun times. I ended up picking up another defense just because I was worried about the Bills playing the Rams. The Bills beat that ass. But then I had the Titans, who was beaten up on New York. And then...
That was a wild game how that ended.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if I could pick 4. That's one worth talking about.
Just grab 4 games. I mean, it's not like motherfuckers don't have ESPN.
Yeah.
So we're just conversing about
Steelers
shit.
And Bengals was
That's
real
fun.
wild.
Overtime.
So Steelers came out way ahead, and freaking Burrow had 3 interceptions in the first half. It's like, oh shit, what's going on here? Super Bowl hangover, even though they're not the winners, but
a lot of times the team that loses Super Bowl come out the next year and miss playoffs.
And I mean, Tomlin also, I always love him as a coach. So he came prepared. Things slowed down. The Bengals had an opportunity to win it with an extra point. They missed the extra point. Then they have another opportunity to win it in overtime. Missed the field goal. Steelers miss a field goal in overtime too to win it. And then eventually the second time they get a chance to win the game. They got it. So 23-20 Steelers. That's a big win for them in the division.
Yep. It's good stuff. I like to hear it.
I kind of want to do the Lions game just because that was the most fantasy important game. That shit was wild.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
If you got some fantasy players in those games, you're probably doing pretty good. And I had DeAndre Swift, which was a nice surprise. And the receiver, what's his name?
St. Brown.
Yeah, he did pretty decent.
What do you got, like 60 in the touchdown?
Yep,
Not
16
really decent.
touchdowns.
That's just like, that's what you should be doing.
Swift, 144 in touchdown and 31 receiving.
Now, yeah, he did really fucking
9.6 a carry. Yeah, at one point he was like at 100 yards and had like 6 carries. Like, yeah, damn, that's rude.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, all right.
And Chark got a touchdown though. Yeah, because you guys start off really slow on passing.
Besides Swift. I mean, we started off 7-0, so that's not too slow.
And then freaking Hurts. Yeah, I think Hurts is going to be like Lamar in his MVP season. He's running a lot, which owning Lamar in every league, he was not looking to run at all. He passed okay, but again, it's the Jets. But I'm a little concerned fantasy-wise that he wasn't attempting to run. Maybe it was because of the weather. Maybe it was because the Jets have a good D-line.
I mean, quarterbacks get to that certain point, too, as they kind of start getting older. It's like, that shit wears and tears. And also, I mean, it's not like he can't throw the ball either. So I think he's like, well, fuck it. I can do this, too. Kind of.
You know who didn't have a good day? If you had Aaron Rodgers, he had 1 point.
Yes, I love it. I love Mushroom taking Aaron Rodgers. Like, that makes me feel good. Well, he says he did ayahuasca, and he had a great year last year. He won MVP. So I wonder if he didn't do ayahuasca this year.
Or, I mean, there was a lot to be said of, Devontae Adams' success was because of Aaron Rodgers, and Devontae Adams went off today.
I think it's a combination of the two. Because, I mean, those quarterbacks in Green Bay, Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, have made receivers look really good. But, it's a give and take. I don't think it's just all of them all the time. For Brett Favre, a lot of times it was. Because, you had Antonio Freeman, Robert Brooks, Donald Driver, and these are all guys that went elsewhere and were a shell of themselves. It could be that, they're later in their career, maybe. I don't know. Where it could be that, you had Brett Favre throwing you the ball. And, you got Aaron Rodgers, with a bunch of, good receivers throwing the ball and they go elsewhere. They're not the same. I think Devontae might be the only one that's really gone somewhere and immediately looked good. So, it's week 1. So,
yeah, all the top receivers produced for the most part. So Cooper Kupp and Jefferson, the top two, both. I mean, I forget what Cooper did, but Jefferson was 182 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think he got me 39.9.
Yeah, that's who I have in my league. And Kupp was, I think he had 2 touchdowns.
That seems about
high. Devontae Adams had like 130, 140 in touchdown. Yeah, the Jamar Chase had over 100 in a touchdown. Like, man, all the receivers produced. And running backs were hit or miss. Some people got some touchdowns that saved them. Like, CMC didn't do shit. Did get a touchdown. Cook didn't do... I mean, he had like 90 yards, but he did have like tons of carries.
Dude, that's frustrating when you got a running back and they get 90. Like, just 90 alone is annoying. I hate the 98 yards and they pull them. It's like, yo, you couldn't let them just go for one more run and try to get me 4, maybe. You're just going to pull them at 98. I need those extra bonus points on what you're doing. So, I don't think any of my running backs did shit for me.
I had Chubb. Chubb had a good week. No touchdown, but he did good. That game worth mentioning is just Baker went back to Cleveland, talked some shit. And at one point, I mean, he was playing terrible. I was looking at like 40 yards a pick. I was like, oh, that's not good. Then suddenly they had the lead very late. I was like, damn, Baker came back. And it wasn't, I mean, Baker wins games with ugly stat lines, which that's something I kind of like about him.
Like, not if he's on your fantasy team.
No, Baker has no chance of being on my fantasy team. But yeah, Cleveland I saw kicked like basically a last second field goal to win that game.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing that's the thing about fantasy football. It's, we base a player's like success off of their stats versus, are they winning a game? Can they, control the game? Can they, like Tim Tebow? Not someone I want on my fantasy team. But he was a fucking winner.
Man, you want him on your team in that fourth quarter.
Yeah.
When he came in there with 7 yards and then finished with 180 and 3 touchdowns.
It's like, okay. He's doing it. I mean, I don't know. It like the Cleveland game, the Cleveland versus Carolina game. That's one of those games where it's like it sounds dickish, but it's like, who cares? Besides, the fact that Baker went elsewhere. And I mean, it was a close game down to the wire, but it's like one of those things that was like, that's going to have no ramification down the line.
I think the last game worth mentioning, Dolphins Patriots. Dolphins beat that ass, and I think the Dolphins made a lot of good moves. They got a freaking fast offense, and we've seen the Patriots start off bad though, and then they win like 10 in a row. So
I think this is different though.
Bill's gonna be pissed. Yeah, well, I was looking at the Patriots today. I was like, and looking at who's on their team, like who the hell do they have? Y'all just don't want anyone. Like, got some mediocre running backs, no receivers.
Was Mac Jones in the second year?
Yeah.
So
and he was capable of winning, but didn't look like anything super special.
I mean, that's the thing though too. When you have someone like that and he's young, you still got to put some like viable weapons around the kid. You can't just be like, oh, we'll win off the system. Because I mean, even when Tom Brady was there behind Drew Bledsoe, they had weapons. And then as time went on and Tom became Tom Brady, it was like, we can win whatever the fuck we want. And they did. And then also the defense back then was a fucking knockout. So, I mean, I'm not saying the Patriots are done because, again, this is only week 1.
But that's usually like a win for them versus Dolphins.
Yeah. Well, the Dolphins have been kind of tough on them lately, though.
I remember they used to be tough on them back when they had that one coach with the sunglasses and they'd run those option plays. Who was that running back? That they were like the one team that was running that. What was that offense when the running backs and that quarterback?
Wildcat.
Yeah.
I actually just saw a video about the Wildcat, and it was video said, "Do you remember the Wildcat?" And it was like, and then it showed a picture. Not this Wildcat. As soon as they said, I was like, "Yeah, I know what you're talking about." But yeah, that's actually they used the Patriots game as an example because they beat the shit out of the Patriots.
Yeah, and they were like couldn't stop it at all.
Yeah. It was like week 1, and they beat New England within an inch of their lives. I was like, God damn. And then New England was like, okay, really? All right, well, we'll show you. Fucked them up in a rematch.
Yeah, another missed field goal. Today's got to be a record for most field goals. It's got to be up there.
Good. Fuck them. Fuck those kickers. So
yeah, the Bengals kicker had 5-game winners last year.
Yeah,
I think he had 3-game losing kicks in one game. Does they?
Oh, well, I mean,
missing an extra point is bad to lose the game.
I mean, it's the second year,
I already announced they won. I was like, damn, the Bengals came back and won. And then I had to text back like, oh, they didn't. They missed the extra point.
Oh, I mean, that's...
So the Giants, by the way, they tied the game late and went for 2.
I saw that.
And they got it. And then they almost lost.
It's like, yep.
God damn.
That would have felt good just because it's... Ooh, that would have been fucked up.
Yeah, because that would have been Giants fans would have just been like, what the fuck? We got the 2-point... We went for it and we got it and then we still lost.
And then, but the Jets also lost.
Oh, did you see I don't know if you saw any of that game, but they kept cutting to the crowd of the Jets. Baltimore Jets.
No.
The Jets fans were not happy. Just sad faces. It was wrong of the NFL. Whoever was the cameraman and the director putting it to the Jets fans. At one point, they showed a fan asleep. I was like, that's who you chose to put it on the screen?
Well, just kind of making
But most of them were like, they had a freaking fumble, and they're just like looking like, really? It looks like it's going to be... Well, Flacco's your quarterback.
So, yeah, what happened with Zach Wilson?
I think he has a minor, not minor, but I think he's going to be out for a little bit of a knee injury.
Oh, that sucks for them.
So, I want to say it was like week 5.
He's out there fucking moms again, ain't he? He ain't
He's
hurt.
Getting
threw his back out.
Sponge baths by older nurses.
He's like, hey, Greta, want to come over here and, oops, I dropped the soap. Come find it under the water. You know how us Mormons are, eh? Wait, that's Canadian. Never mind. Yeah, week one. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting. So
Yeah, I mean, I think more and more, especially just having 3 preseason games, was maybe more rusty than usual. Besides some of the star receivers.
well, I mean, honestly, with the preseason, they didn't play the starters or anything, but
Dak
they're
just threw a terrible interception.
love
That
it
was funny.
because I'm going to get
You know,
somebody
just throw
who
it
has
into
Dak.
double coverage. Who cares?
My opponent in our league has Dak, so that makes me smile.
But yeah, this would be a game where you'd think a lot of fantasy players would do really well. It's 6-3, so no one's doing that well.
Dak right now has less than.
How do you feel
points.
about that now when you get an interception? They did a whole team dance thing.
The defense?
I like it for a touchdown. An interception.
Yeah, relax. Like
Yeah,
it was one person.
I'd like to act. See, my thing is to act like you did it before.
Yeah.
When you celebrate that much, it's like, oh, this is like a once in a year thing. Oh, that was bad. I mean, he threw that, and there were so many Tampa Bay players. He was playing Madden and didn't want to get that sack, so he just threw it.
He was just hoping it would just go in the air. Someone to get it.
Yeah, he didn't know a receiver. He pressed square and just hope.
Let's see here. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking at my game right now. I should win this one, but wild things can happen. Dak might shake that off and then come back and be like, "Man, fuck these guys," and go off.
So I won my game already in our league. I won in Juan's league. I played Tay. His team was terrible. He's pretty much done at 60.
I was gonna say,
I think he had 3 people that didn't end up playing.
Yeah. That's how I was in my other league, but I ended up winning.
And then my league, it's going to be close. I have Pollard playing right now as negative. See if he can do anything.
Yeah, I had Dobbins and Kittle both not playing, so I got 2 zeros there. But then everyone else scored like 33, 23, 22, 25, 12. You know, basically my team just scattered points all over the place.
Yeah,
like
I had one
all over the
monster
walls.
receiver in each league. And that's Swift had a huge game. Chubb had a good game.
Yeah. All right. So that's good. Good.
That's all I got to say about that.
And moving right along. So
Want to rate this beer? 'Cause
yeah,
we
let's
finished it.
do that. Is there more of this? Yeah, there's a little more.
So yeah, it was kind of a unique beer. It's called Honeymaker. Kind of a fucked up brewing name. It's called Widowmaker Brewing.
Something wrong with that.
So that's out of Braintree, Massachusetts. So it's a New England style IPA. I won't bore you with the hops because I don't even know what those hops are, except the citras and a lot of them. But it's tropical fruit. But the thing that makes this unique is it has locally sourced honey, which gave it a little sweetness. Otherwise, it would have been pretty bitter without that. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, it has like a typical orange juicy-ish IPA. It was it wasn't like an orange juice color. You're right. It was kind of like
Looked like mud.
dark brown.
That was mud.
So that was not the best of colors, but
Like
8%.
doo-doo water.
Yeah, 8%.
That's pretty
I think
solid.
it grew on me. My first initial taste wasn't what I was expecting, so I was like, "This doesn't taste like honey." But then it doesn't taste like honey. But I think there's a little sweetness at the end.
That's the problem, my friend. You're going in with expectations. Go in just to drink.
Well, see, I knew there was honey in it, so if I didn't know that, I'd be like, "Oh,
No,
it was 8%."
8%, and it was decently taste. I need this chart so we can know,
Double England IPA.
so I can know what the other stores will compare. So I feel like I've been giving out a lot of 7s lately, and I don't think a lot of things are like worth the 7.
Damn, we took into account color. This might be one of the most disappointing colors for one that actually tasted good.
It sounds racist, but
This is like a brown ginger ale.
I don't know why. I'm like thirsty, but I don't. I should probably go get a water. So I would give this a 6.9.
Okay. I think that's your go-to score when you're like, I like it, but it's not quite in the range. So good.
I'm immature.
I ain't
So
like 6.
I like just say.
I gave it a
anything
7.3. I think the 8% boosted it up.
Well, yeah,
But yeah,
the
you-
boosted to the 9 for me.
So that being Widowmaker made me think kind of Halloweenish.
We got sort of a Halloweenish beer.
Hey, have we done any pumpkin beers?
Yeah.
We have.
Well, last year we did pretty good at getting a lot of Halloween beers that month.
I don't remember doing any pumpkin beers.
We did like 3 or 4,
Hey,
but we got one tonight.
Oh fuck! I was like,
Not a pumpkin
can
spice
we do
beer.
no more? But I guess we'll go into it. Fine. Fuck.
But it's got a cool, scary movie theme. So I plan to watch some scary movies. Actually, I was saying this year, maybe it was because of last year, I'm more excited for this time of season than I think I've been. Like, I've always been a summer person. Still am because I like the sun. And I just don't like fall when it's gray. The sky's just gray every day for the most part. But I'm looking more forward to Halloween. And I do like the fall weather, I guess.
Yeah, I like the fall weather. Like when it's like.
Besides the rain. Like when it's not rainy. But
Oh my god, today was like fucking dog
Today
shit,
sucked.
yo.
Yeah, that on the ride here it was like bad. It was
Yo, like
cold, just drizzly everywhere.
the rain like put me to sleep too today. I was sitting there watching the game, but also to be fair, I was watching the Redskins game or the Washington game, and I always fall asleep during their games. So, when they play the Giants, you may as well just like tuck me right in because as soon as kickoff hits versus the Giants, I'm going right to sleep.
Yeah. That game too. It's hard to make what we even are because it was. I gotta remind myself it was Jacksonville.
I mean,
We had 4 touchdown passes. We haven't seen that in a while, but 2 interceptions. Could have been 3.
it started off. I was like, oh shit, look at them.
The biggest surprise was Curtis Samuels. That dude was fast. Like he broke ankles just catching the ball went.
I mean,
And we haven't seen him because he didn't play at all basically last year.
there's a lot of potential.
A lot another
hope
brown
there.
beer.
Oh, that definitely looks like Dookie.
Oh, this kind of looks orange actually. I guess because
okay.
it's pumpkin.
It sounds like you're colorblind.
But this is a Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah. Shout out to Roman Polanski.
So I've not seen that movie. Is that any good?
It's debatable. A lot of people love it as a classic. It's one of those movies where it's slow, but the build-up is good. The build-up is fun.
I think we're gonna try to start doing like a movie a week, like with including Brett, and we want to do some scary ones, especially coming with October. But we did Maverick this week just because Brett hadn't seen it. He loved it, which Brett typically does love those type of movies.
Movies with white people.
There's movies without white people. I don't think he sees those.
Brown sugar.
Like, nope.
Boys in the Hood.
He liked Boys in the Hood because I was a big Boys in the Hood fan. And I made him watch it, and he liked it. I don't think he liked some of it. I don't think he was like as into Juice. I don't think he understood that time period. What makes Juice kind of special too is the little hip hop elements of that time period.
Well, I think movies are special in its own regard to the viewer. I mean, it might not have just been special to him just because it didn't matter to him in that, on those stakes. But
I have to say something real quick I thought of impressive with this beer today. I've done beer bongs lots in my life, and I like a beer bong sometimes. Sometimes that's like, it's a better feeling than a shot. I taught Bea how to shotgun, and I couldn't do it. Like, I tried to shotgun this beer, and I'd say 25% came out of my mouth. It's just been a while. Yeah, first one, she did the whole thing, and I didn't believe her. I was like, you did the whole thing? It's like, yeah, I checked the can. I was like, God damn, you did it.
A lot of comments could be made there.
And a 6, this is a 6.8%. It's interesting. Like, the initial taste I didn't like, but then it kind of grows on you a little.
It's not going to. I'll try to be a good
I say
sport
it's
about
more
it.
spices than pumpkin.
Yeah, the spice is definitely heavy there.
There is some unique things, though. Well, I'll get to it when we're reviewing it.
Yeah, I mean, either way. So Le'Veon Bell and Adrian Peterson fought last night.
Yeah, I wish I remembered. I wish I want to do like friendly bets on those type of things.
So
Those are fun fights.
So Nat messaged me way back when it was announced. I found the text thread. and sent it to him because it was like I got my money's on LeVeon. I just think he's.
Yeah, I think I would have taken Le'Veon too. Peterson just seems like a football only guy to me.
He's a brute.
Where he's not like athletic in other sports to me.
He just to me feels like the kind of guy that's just like charge forward and not worry about technique. I'm a brute. I want to just smash.
And although he knocked people over, people forget that Le'Veon was a big boy.
Yeah. So the clip came across the timeline. So I video captured it and then took the text thread and put them in little thing and sent it to Nep just to remind him, like, hey, remember I called this. We didn't bet any money on it. I'm not that guy, but I wish it were you. So I actually would have sent more shit, talking more shit to you.
But I would have taken Le'Veon too.
Yeah, true. Then there wouldn't have been much shit talking about it. It was just been like, yeah, I think
Le'Veon did it for the kids.
Hey, Le'Veon went to Michigan State. Adrian Peterson went to Oklahoma. There ain't no real rivalry there.
I did see another fight, and I don't know if it was one of those celebrity ones, boxing match, but it was the dude they call Salt Poppy, which did come up in a lot of my.
I saw something came up today.
He used to come up all the time on my TikTok, right? And I was baffled why this guy went viral because the first thing he did was he was the person who could do that when that trend came where people doing that fake run, but you're really just standing in place, but it looks like you're doing a run.
I have no idea.
Anyway, he was really good at it, but from the waist up, he's doing something where it looks like he's doing like this slow motion action run in super speed. And then he became known because he started doing, remember salt bagels like this?
Yeah.
He started like, whenever he eat fries, he'd go like this and like try to look all super sexy. It's just a funny thing. Anyways, he's a Filipino guy from London. I think he's British. Anyways, his videos are funny. I mean, it's TikTok, like a lot of things on TikTok, they're dumb, but it's kind of funny at the same time.
I'm only there for twerking, so I don't give a fuck about
he does
funny.
These things. Anyways, I would see him. Titties. I saw him. He would post like boxing videos, and seeing them, it'd be like, damn, he's actually pretty athletic because he's a little overweight. And then when I saw him in this fight, I'm like, he lost a lot of weight because he was pretty chunky. But, dude, he just knocked out other dude real quick. And I think he's going to fight one of the Pauls if he can. If not, some other one of those influencer guys. But one of the top boxer guys.
You know, so...
He had power, though. But, the commentators had it so wrong. They're like, Saul Poppy's got the skill, but he doesn't have the power. 2 seconds later, just lays him out 1 punch.
So, Jake Paul Anderson Silva has been announced. I hate to say this. I might get it.
I'm saying they're on to something like it's entertaining.
It is. It's this thing where it's like I want, like, I think Jake Paul, he's talented. He can box.
I'll say with these celebrity things, at least the celebrities involved for the most part are taking it serious. So it's like
for the most part. And that's the thing. It's like I've never really been concerned about like celebrity box. I don't care. But the fact that Jake Paul is getting better, he's like, I think he's a legit boxer. And he's stepping up the competition and shit like that. So it's like, you know what? Good. I'll watch this fight, but at the same time, it's like I kind of don't want to admit it and I don't want to pay. But it's like, why am I hating?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's like, why am I hating? Like, I shouldn't hate. So him versus Anderson, I will say this. I want Anderson to fucking beat the bricks off him. But Anderson is old.
And that's his style. I think he likes picking on the elderly.
Yeah. He likes finding people that's old that he know, you ain't got nothing in the tank. But Anderson, Anderson,
he's still fighting good besides that leg break he got.
Yeah, well, he fought, who'd he fight? Whatchamacallit? Anderson fought someone, I can't remember, and he won. It was a professional, well, it was a boxer, but I think they're kind of on their way out too. But the whole point is like, all right, you put Jake Paul in there against Tyron Woodley. And Woodley, I think, Woodley's obviously not a boxer, but it's like he's still a fighter. So, like, he's still in there. He got knocked out the second fight, though, and, oh, well, that sucks. Ben Askren, that's a fight that is just like, I had no faith in Ben Askren winning that fight. That dude's strictly a wrestler, even when he came over to the UFC. And they're like, his style when he was in one and Bellator was wrestling heavy because he's a college wrestler, and just smothers people. He very very little striking at all. So it's like, yeah, he's not gonna really stand a chance in there.
Yeah, and he came to that fight a little overweight. Like he didn't look the same.
And it doesn't look like he was.
He
taking
didn't look
serious
engaged.
either.
Yeah,
it was like, and I mean, I think he did admit afterwards. Look, it's the most money I've ever made. So yeah, I was just there to get a paycheck. So it's like, that's cool. At least he admits it. But it's like, look, dude, if y'all are gonna do these things, I want to take it serious, dude. Because if I'm paying money to see it, I want to see like a serious thing. That's why I'm like, you know what? I'll probably order the Anderson one because Anderson will probably take it serious, and Anderson has probably the best shot to. Anderson's weird because he's not like a power hitter, but he's super accurate and he hits you in the right place. It's like all of his fights in the UFC that he won by knockout. It wasn't even like like when he knocked out Yushin Okami, he like cracked with the jab, hit him just right, and Yushin Okami just dropped. When he beat Vitor, it was a front kick to the face that Steven Seagal took credit for. Fat ass.
I do remember seeing. I remember seeing him on a talk show, and they had that punching game that you get your power, and I was surprised that Silva's. It wasn't that high of a number, but then again, I think his skill is more his precision, more than anything.
What I've heard though with those punching things at the bar, they're not the most accurate thing. I'm not saying it's like just how you're punching them. It's not really any indicator of it, of like your real like punch power supposedly. Meaning the fact is though, you get hit by somebody and they hit hard. A hard hit is a hard hit.
Yeah, Conor was like about his precision was more so than his power.
Yeah, Conor was never really a power striker. It's like, again, he just catches you just right. He was accurate.
Yeah, he was quick. His accuracy was phenomenal back then.
Speaking of Conor and fights, so UFC 279 took place last night. So a little backstory to this card, because Friday there was some fucking static, and they shuffled the fights.
Oh yeah, someone didn't make weight, right?
Yeah, Hamza.
Like, not even close.
Hamza. Well, his doctor told him to stop. He was like, "Stop cutting, because you're not going to make this weight, and you're going to do damage to yourself." So he weighed in at 178. So but before the weigh-in, apparently they, no, because they do the weigh-ins in the morning on Fridays now. So it probably did take place after that. But basically, him and Kevin Holland got into some kind of a back and forth. This is what they claim. Oh, they got into a little argument, so go ahead and make those guys fight instead. And I'm going to make Tony Ferguson fight Nate, which that's a fight that I want to see 6 years ago. So there's a lot of mixing up. It is funny because like on your main card, you got five fights on the main card. So the first fight was Johnny Walker versus fucking guy. I can never pronounce his name because I can pronounce none of their names. But a lot of people fucking hate the guy because in the weigh-ins he's always screaming at people trying to intimidate. He ended up getting choked out. Good. Fuck that guy. The next fight was special catch weights, women's fight, 137, 139. So that's where they weighed in. And then the next fight after that, special catch weight. And then the next fight after that, special catch weight. I was like, damn. Like, so everybody missed weight on this card. And then in the prelims, lots of people miss weight. Which, again, the argument is, should they even be doing the weight cutting and all that shit? So many people miss the shit so much. But
yeah, and I hate it's stupid that it's even a weigh-in day. And then they, especially boxing, they'll bulk up 13 pounds in the next day. Yeah. And it's like, what was the point of the weigh-in? Well, like, if anything, shouldn't it be the friggin' day of the fight?
So, like, in jiu-jitsu, specifically, IBJJF, when you weigh in, moments before you step onto the mat.
Maybe if they do that, then it stops the cutting thing, because you're not going to want to be starving and killing yourself the day of your fight.
I mean, there have been fighters that have, fucking passed out on the scale. It's like, and obviously they're like, nope, you're not fighting.
Yeah, those ones you've seen videos of, like the dudes in the sauna
Yeah.
eating nothing, taking little droplets of water, and wearing a sweatsuit. Like, that's not healthy.
Yeah. Like you're destroying. I mean, Rumble Johnson used to cut to 170. Like, oh my God. Like, seeing him at 170 was terrifying just because he, like, looked so dehydrated and just skinny. But then when you saw him fighting at 205, he looked healthy. He looked like, this is where you belong, dude. I mean, Connor, when he fought, I want to say Chad Mendez, maybe. He weighed in at 145, and he looked like he was dying.
Yeah, he looked anorexic.
It's like, yo, what are you guys doing? So, but basically, the main event is the fight to talk about. Well, so no, the co-main event, because Hamza is he's a contender. He's in the top 5. He was supposed to fight Nate. This was kind of a fight that wasn't really doing anything for him. This was Nate's final fight on his contract, so he was like, give me anyone. So he was booked to fight Hamza, kind of almost as like you wouldn't feel like this was kind of a fuck you from the UFC, because Hamza has been ragdolling everyone. It's not even fucking close. He gets in there and just fucking smothers dudes. So I kind of wanted to see that, because I wanted to see how Nate handled that. And I think Nate would have been fine, but I think he would have still lost that fight, because that dude is just a monster. So instead, he gets Kevin Holland, who was talking a lot of shit. They touch gloves, and they say, go, let's fight. So Kevin Holland went to touch gloves again, had his hand up, and Hamza shot for the takedown. I just feel like that's kind of shitty. And I mean, and it's a weird thing, because it's like, yeah, the fight starts, protect yourself at all times, but more often than not, guys are going to touch gloves at the beginning. Again, just say, all right, let's go. So, and that's not to say he wasn't going to get the takedown. He got the takedown. The one thing I'll give Kevin Holland a lot of credit for, he moved. He was not going to sit still for Hamza to just take his back. Eventually, Hamza got what we call it in jiu-jitsu a Darce choke. And he had it. Kevin kind of fought out of it. And then Hamza reapplied it and made it tighter and put his weight down on him. You can see Kevin Holland, something was going on with his shoulder. His arm was kind of dangling, but he tapped out legit. He got beat. It was a very fast fight. I want to say might have been a minute, if even. So afterward, he's on the mic talking. He's just talking all this shit, and it's like, again, I was talking to a friend. She was saying whoever wins that fight should get a title shot against Leon Edwards, which I disagree, because Kamaru Usman should get the rematch. And it sounds like that probably will end up happening, probably in London, because Leon is from London. But it's like people forgot that Kobe Covington exists. They put Hamza in there with Kobe, because Kobe is the gatekeeper. Like, anyone that's trying to get to that title has to go through Kobe. And it'll be interesting to see how that fight goes between those two, because Hamza's got a lot of good pressure, and Kobe's good at kind of deflecting that pressure. He has his own good pressure too, so it'd be fun to see that fight. Make that shit happen. They're both like Hamza took no damage, not a single shot, not a single punch was thrown. Like he ended that fight fast. He could have probably fought again in the main event. So make that shit happen. Put that shit on the December card, because I can't order October card. I can, but it's gonna be at 2 p.m. on a Saturday.
That's whack.
Yeah, fuck all that. And it's a good card. It's a real good card. But like the November, December cards, I'm in. So we get to the main event. It was Tony Ferguson versus Nate. And that was fucking weird. It was a weird fight. First off, it's a fight, again, would have been great 6 years ago. Both of them are on losing streaks. Nate's last fight on his contract. Tony, he's lost 4 in a row. He loses here. This is probably it. So, who knows? But they're both out there striking. Tony was throwing a lot of good leg kicks. And Nate even said afterward, yeah, we came in kind of preparing. We did a lot of wrestling in camp. So we weren't really prepared to box. But, we made it happen. So Uh, what I think it went up to 4 rounds. I think I want to say 4. Tony's just chopping away at Nate's legs, and at one point in the third, Nate is like, was he fucking with Tony, or was he really hurt? Because he, like, you saw his face grimace, and you could hear him make an audible sound like that shit hurt. Then at some point he just started walking away. He was like, I'm gonna walk off. Then he goes stood over next to the cage, and the ref, Mark Goddard's like, come on guys, like, let's fight. So Nate goes back out there. I think Nate would have, won the fight decision anyway, because he was just piecing Tony up, just fucking hitting him left and right. Eventually Tony's coach was like, take him down. Don't do that. Like, yeah, Tony's a black belt in jiu-jitsu too, but Nate's like the black belt in jiu-jitsu. So took him down immediately, guillotine. And Nate's always screaming 209, bitch, 209, his zip code or area code. Got the win at 209. 209 left on the clock. He got Tony to tap. But afterward in the post fight, he was like, Joe Rogan was like, what's next? He was like, I think I'm gonna take a break from the UFC. Go try to dominate some other sports because these other bums can't. He's like,
man, he should friggin' do the friggin' celebrity shit and make some money.
I think that's what he's talking about, wanting to do. Well, then Joe was like, are you saying you're going to go boxing? Because he goes, well, Conor couldn't do it, so I'm going to go do it. So you're saying you're going to go boxing? I was like, I mean, boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, I'll do any of this shit because everybody else sucks out there. It's like, well, I mean.
Well, you're doing him some credit speaking that coherently.
No, when I was repeating it last night, and Sarah's like, is that how he really talks? I was like, yes.
He talks like he's permanently drunk. But he's not drunk.
But yeah, it was one of those weird cards where it's like, I'm always down to watch fights, but that was one of those cards where I was like, look, man, y'all got, like, whenever they do a pay-per-view and there's not a title fight on the card, it kind of feels a little cheap.
Yeah, that needs to be just once in a while. Let's not make it pay-per-view. Let's give a special fight for everyone.
Yeah, they could
make some money off some advertising and get a lot of viewers.
Well, so I remember way back in the day when they were still on Spike TV, they had, was it Rampage versus Anderson, I think, for the middleweight belt on free TV. And Rampage got choked out. Did he get? I think he got choked. Or it might have been the Dan Henderson fight. But there was a title fight on free TV. And Dana was like, we're never doing that again. And it's like, okay, whatever. I mean, but you got a fight of this caliber with these names. Well, specifically Nate. Because he's a star now. You could have gotten away with putting him on ESPN, Plus. And get advertising money. It would have been fine. But to put this out there and charge $75, it's like the card. The thing with UFC cards or any combat sport card is you look at the card and you can say by name like, this doesn't look good, but then it turns out the fight card is actually pretty good. But then there are cards you see the names like, oh my god, I got to see this fight, and then it's like, oh god, this is so boring. You never know. So like with this card, the fights were fun, but like looking at it on paper is like, like, I wish, this was free. I wish they were all free, but, yeah, but, whatever. But fun all the same. The October card looks good. We got some free cards upcoming. I think for Off the Match, we're going to try to do like a companion show, fight companion type show, I think. I haven't decided yet, but I'm going to set up shop over there in front of the TV with the mics and everything, and go ahead and watch and talk and have a good time about it. Maybe you know what? We might even drink a little bit. I don't know.
It's always fun.
Might break out some seltzers.
Some Trulies and what's the other one?
The Bud Light joints.
And then there's the main one, the girls drink.
Oh, White Claw.
White Claw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, White Claw had that shit on lockdown, so they realized they could come out with other ones. And the men couldn't get White Claw, but there's something about Bud Light Seltzer, though. It seemed a little bit. I'll admit, one time I went to the liquor store, I was like, I could get White Claw, I could get Bud Light Seltzer. And I was like, I feel a little better getting Bud Light Seltzer.
My one buddy, he always would have White Claws, and I remember I would show up. He was like, Dante, you want a White Claw? I was like, absolutely fucking not. I had a raspberry one, though. It had a little bit more flavor to it. I was like, this is all right. That lemon lime one is not, but this raspberry one is all right.
I think there's a Truly, though, that's 8%. That one's pretty good. And they have like a blood orange one. It's pretty good.
So my neighbor brought over some Trulies last night. Those are the cans that are in the bag there. And I don't think they're anything powerful or anything. I think they're just kind of like some...
Oh, I think I've had
because his wife, I think. So that one, the mango chili, at the end there is kind of a chili flavor, like on those last few
like
sips.
Spicy.
Yeah.
So I won't be able to taste that, but that sounds interesting.
But no, it tastes like chili. Not just the spice. It wasn't like spicy.
That could be. Oh, watermelon cucumber sounds good too.
And racist. But that chili.
That sounds like it's mixed. Like the watermelons for one time, the cucumbers are for the white people. Let's all come together.
But no, that mango chili is actually pretty okay. With that chili flavor at the end, yeah, son. But yeah, I think we're gonna maybe get together for one of the free cards, not a pay card. I'm not gonna pay $75 for a fucking UFC card just so we can sit around and talk. Like no, like one of the free cards that might look fun. Like, all right, fellas, let's sit down, crack some drinks, talk some shit, and watch some fights, and have fun with it. So we'll see where it goes. But yeah, that's all I really have on that fight card. Like I said, there's some upcoming cards that look fun. We got a couple teammates that are going to be on some upcoming cards. I think November and December. So November, I think pay-per-view, and then the December, one of our guys' main event. And apparently, I don't know. I think they might not have filled in the fights yet, but right now he's at the top of the card. I was like, wow, really? Okay, whatever. I mean, cool. So we'll keep that updated. But that November and December card looks fucking fantastic. Well, so December hasn't officially been announced, because if you go on UFC.com, it shows all the cards and then it skips December. And there's a heavy rumor that John Jones and Stipe was supposed to be on that card. And I think if that is the case, I think they're trying to save it. Like they're trying to like keep it kind of low key. But the light heavyweight rematch, like light heavyweight title rematch, is supposed to be on there. And then there's another big fight, and then the John Jones Stipe interim heavyweight title fight is rumored to be on that card. That doesn't exist on UFC.com. So if that is the case, obviously I will order it because got to jerk off to something. And then January's card I'll probably skip. But all right, let's go ahead and read this beer, or are we still working on it?
I know, yeah, I haven't seen you take a little sip in a while, but because I was gonna say, is this really grew on me? The more you drink it, it tastes better and better.
It doesn't grow on me. It doesn't get better for me. It gets less yucky.
Yeah,
but it doesn't get better.
The initial spice taste goes away as we were drinking it. So I ended up liking it, but I did not like the initial taste, but I ended up liking it. We can rate this, though. It's called Rhodes Mary's Baby, and it's a traditional pumpkin ale with spices, vanilla, oak, and a touch of rum. So I think one of the things special about this was that it's made with rum barrels. There's a slight rum taste to it, but overall I wouldn't say pumpkin, but the spices for sure. And the can says aged in rum barrels with vanilla beans. I do get a little vanilla.
This can is growing on me. Let me get a picture of this can real quick.
It's a great can. And they use that style of lettering that I like, the Old English that I use for our logo sometimes.
My hand looked massive holding that can. So if my hand looks massive, let's put it up against my dick.
Yeah, our cans last week were all big ones, so it would have made us look small.
Maybe. Actually, I'm looking at my hand.
Yeah, this is one of the better looking cans.
Fucking bear paw. I fucking knock somebody out with like an open palm slap, son.
Oh, the last beer is a good can. This one's not.
No, that can is trash.
Special. Yeah, Honeymaker, they could have made that shit made tighter. Put some Killer Bees, some Wu-Tang shit or something.
Maybe they're not Wu-Tang fans.
Probably not.
Maybe they said fuck the kids.
Yeah, they don't like the children.
Because Wu-Tang is for the kids.
Yeah, if you don't like Wu-Tang, then you're not for the kids.
Yeah, fuck y'all. All right.
But yeah, it's everything you need to know about that. Some slight rum taste in our pumpkin beer. We've had some pumpkin beers last year around this time. They tasted more pumpkin-y. This, I didn't taste pumpkin, but I mean, there's some spice going on for sure. And I did not like the initial taste, but as I'm drinking it, I'm like, I like it by the end.
Were you out with us? This was like years ago. Someone we worked with, we all went out to the Phoenix, and the one chick got a pumpkin spice beer, and she didn't finish it, but some random dude, like, he was like, I'll take it.
I don't think I would. I think I would have remembered.
Like, it was just like, we were just looking at this dude, like, in shock, like, yo, you don't know, she might have something. Like, and you just gonna drink that beer after her like that? And she barely drank any of it. I think she took a sip, and she was like, I don't want this. And it was a big-ass beer, too. It looked like fucking a deuce. And I was like, holy shit, like, that's a big-ass fucking pumpkin spice beer. But, you know, she was a basic white chick, so, you know. I won't put a name out there, but her, I think, dad called the HOA and complained about your basketball hoop.
Oh, I remember that person.
So
yeah, that person complained about everything.
Yeah, well, HOAs, yo. You know, if it's available, somebody's going to complain, and there's always that one type of person that's going to complain.
That was a wild story. It's like, oh, yeah, my dad was the HOA thing. Oh, that's the one that was trying to tell me I couldn't play my basketball hoop.
Dick. Like, yeah, man, go fuck yourself, son.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Actually,
That when we used to play on it, it used to help me a lot, more than anyone, I think. Is we used to take it, we had to lift it slightly over the backyard to get the backboard over the thing. Otherwise, we could roll it. Then when we rolled it, then we filled it with water. It wasn't like hard work, but the filling with water part took, I mean, I want to say like 15, 20 minutes. It was a lot of water. But then that court was tight once we had it up because I could lower the rim or raise it. So sometimes we'd play so we could dunk on it. Sometimes we'd play regular. But then, yeah, we'd put it back. We'd dump all the water out and carry it to my backyard again.
All that to play ball. I mean, you know, but
we had some shitty rims to play on in our neighborhood. Life. Remember? Because we had Owen Brown that was missing more than 50% of the rims. And then one side was like 9.5. It was kind of wild. And one side was like, no, I think the good side was 9.5. And then the other side was like 8.
And then you had the rims that were like bent down, so it's like, oh my god.
And then we had the quiet hours court, which was only a half court, and sometimes there'd be too many people if you want to play there. I mean, sometimes we lucked out, we had it, and sometimes we didn't. And then they took it away because I think the noise, people were playing at midnight there because it was like near a street light. Huh. But being an apartment community, no one trying to hear a basketball bounce in the middle of the night.
Well, then move. Fuck y'all. Like funny side note to that individual, the dad. I was chatting with him on Facebook years ago, like just random. I think it was like in one of those like Columbia groups, and he and I got into like on one of the chat threads, got into a conversation. I'm looking at his last name. You know, I mean, that's not a last name that's just like super common. So. And
Not
it was like
the greatest of names either.
No, it isn't. I never knew how to say it. It was like,
I know how I would say it. And that's terrible.
Yeah, but you know, we got to talk, and I was like, oh yeah. I work with your daughter, and she's a cool kid. Like she was always nice to me. I had something to say off air. I'll be back. All right, then we're back. That was a good 35-minute. Like trip down memory lane. All right, let's go ahead and get these numbers on this beer.
Yeah, so pumpkin, rum barrels, vanilla.
Ugh.
Well, you got 6.8. Cool can. You got to factor in the can.
I'll factor in that can. That can is cool. So
one of the better
helps.
October-ish style beer since we're coming into fall.
I really like that can actually. Like, I'm like really impressed by the can. Like, I love it. It's not enough to save the score, though. I'm going to give it, because I probably wouldn't drink this at all. If you give it to me at a party, I would. So I'm going to give it a 6.2. Like, I'll drink it, but I'm not, it's not top on the list. Like, if you come at me, at a party with this, you say, hey, you want a beer? I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. But if I turn around and somebody has a Coors Light, I'm going to take that water.
I'm going to take this.
I'm going to take the water first. Because I'm like, that's the thing. I'm usually drinking for effect, not flavor, but I just don't like that fucking spice.
I mean, I can see it. So, my initial thought on this is I didn't like it, but the more I drank, the more I liked it. Maybe it's because it's following an 8%er and the 6.8er.
That's a factor. I was gonna say. If I've already been drinking,
the spice was numbing away, where it was actually then pretty good. Like, it's almost like I got used to the spice, and then it tasted pretty good. Not enough to give a 7, because I think a 7 with us is something we buy.
Yeah.
Again.
I definitely wouldn't buy this, but
maybe for Halloween I would, because the cans are cool.
So yeah, if I was having a gathering,
we have Halloween gathering.
I would do it, but I
don't think we particularly liked any of the pumpkin beers but one, and I'm gonna bring the chart next time, so we have something to compare it to. It would be better if I can bring my laptop, because I can sort it by like pumpkin beer. But I'll give this a 6.8.
It's a little aggressive, but okay.
So this next one better be good, because this shit's called Tasty Taste.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be
Makes
Tasty.
me think of Flavor Flav.
Tasty Taint. Shout out to Chris Pinkerton. Not because it's Taint Taste Tasty.
Wait, tasty.
No.
That was a wild ass shout out.
No, because on Nerd Rage, when we like close out the show, we always say like some sort of, is it an adjective? Yeah, adjective. I think that's a word. And then like a body part. So then Bobby like Adam used to say nice tits. Bobby would say tight dick player. Then I'd say like wax buttholes. And then Chris would say tasty taints. And I was like, okay. I think Joe says flappy labius. So it's like basically if you're on a show, you got to come up with something on the spot. So think about it, shit like that. So Chris always say tasty taint. There you have it. The more you know.
The more you know. So this can looks pretty cool. Graffiti style.
My glass
Tasty
smells
taste.
like fucking ass.
Oh, this looks more not brown. So
I'm gonna go grab a different drinking apparatus.
yeah, you might want to rinse it.
Oh, I actually didn't think to do that. I was just thinking of grabbing another container.
You can do that too.
I wish my kid was down here so I could say, Sophie, go grab that mug over there. But she's not. So say some things.
Say some things. All right. Let me tell you about Dante. He's the type of guy. Just kidding.
Man, fuck you. You was talking about my mom.
Fast as hell.
Ow, I just hit myself in the face with the fucking headphones.
Tasty Taste. This got like a graffiti style can.
Oh, okay.
And it says, "Oh yeah, yum" on it.
Smells okay. Looks okay. Let's taste
Hey,
it.
this better be good. This was freaking expensive.
Yeah.
It's not hateful.
Yeah, let me get in here.
And I don't want to judge it off the first taste. So my TikTok following, by the way, it doesn't necessarily go off what you like. It'll go off what you're watching. Like, it knows that you didn't click off.
Trust me, I know.
So, mine has been like this one guy. He shotguns beers all the time, and he rates it. And I was like, he would fit in with our podcast because, he generally likes lighter beers. Which, if you're shotgunning, I understand that.
Well, yeah.
But at the same time,
shotgun a Guinness.
I think I'm at the level now, though. The light beers just don't do enough.
Some would say that's a drinking problem, but I mean, we all have different needs.
Hey, as one of our, I think he's a hero of mine now. What's his name? The advocate guy.
I don't know.
Something advocate. The guy who makes the beer videos.
Oh, that dude. Yeah.
Something advocate.
Yeah, he's a legit hero.
Yeah, and he says so many things I just totally agree with. Like, if you're asking me out on a drink, I'm not gonna go out for one drink. And I was like, to me, like, that's pointless.
So,
go out for a drink. No.
So I had this situation once where I was asked to go out for a drink. Now, recently when I went out to brunch with Winter, we had a couple drinks, but it wasn't like we weren't getting fucking alcohol poisoning midday. But I remember going out with someone, they're like, you want to go grab a drink? And I'm thinking, like, when you say you want to go get a drink, like, it's party time. No, they want to get just a beer. Meanwhile, I started the fucking afternoon off with a Jack and Coke because it's early. It's early enough. I can hit a Jack and Coke early. Then I can follow up with 3 beers, close it out with a Jack and Coke and a shot. And then, you know, I'm coasting the rest of the day. That wasn't part of their plan. They just wanted to go have a drink and, you know, just catch up. You know, they're like sipping their beer. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why are you not chugging? Like, I'm already done with this Jack and Coke. I'm ready for the next fucking drink. Like,
especially if it's a bar of just light beers, I'll tend to chug the first one because it's like,
yeah, you got to get through it.
Get started.
Yeah, you got to get get your engine revving. You got to get going, son. You can't
you
just
sip that Coors Light, you're gonna go to sleep.
Like, I mean, if I'm sipping on a Coors Light, it's probably because I just got done jogging or playing basketball, so I need to replenish. Otherwise, yeah, it's like I'm just there. I'm just there to get drunk. I'm like I said, I'm there for function, not purpose.
And then his other video, I don't know if you posted or not, but the one with the, the health people saying drinking is not healthy, but at the same time, the dudes who are super healthy and, like 6-pack abs, eat salads all day, never drink, never smoke, nothing. Them dudes still die young too. That shit would suck. Because from what I hear, the people that get down to like that 8 to 10% body fat, they don't do too many fun things. Like their life is
they don't
going
have
to
time
gym.
to.
They love flexing in the mirror.
So,
which granted, if I had some abs, I'd like looking at myself in the mirror. But I think I'd like going to the bar more.
My friend out in Europe, she's going to be competing in a super fight this November, up in Ireland. And she sent me a picture of the girl that she's going to be competing against. Or she sent me her Instagram link. Because I was like, I'm going to scout this broad out for you. And I've never seen a person with a 10-pack until I saw that broad. And the thing is, I don't want to be discouraging. I believe my friend is a great grappler. I'm like, yo, this bitch got muscles coming out her fucking eyeballs. She's got muscles on her teeth. I don't know. But I might just think that maybe, just maybe, they're on something. Maybe, maybe some supplements from, say, Mexico. Maybe her clitoris is enlarged. I'm not assuming that she's on any kind of special juice. I just think she is. And there's a difference between assuming and thinking. I'm not sure what the difference is. But
to get that level of like body fat too, where you have the 6-pack abs, I mean, it takes counting you're not eating pizza, you're not eating,
no,
unless you're using Mexican supplements, you might have a chance. But I mean, you're eating lettuce and chicken, no mayonnaise, you're eating cans of tuna.
That's not.
And when I say cans of tuna, you're eating cans of tuna with nothing else. and I mean, granted, and I don't even know if that's healthy because, I mean, if you're in a boxing match, I'm gonna take the dude with a little bit of fat than the dude with the 10% body fat.
Yeah, look at homeboy Andy Ruiz. Yep. I mean, I will always put money on that fat fuck, like all the time.
Man, I got fooled by Facebook the other day. Someone said like, "Look at Andy Ruiz, he lost all this weight," and it showed him a 6-pack. I was like, "Whoa, he got fucking that ripped?" And then I was like, "No, that's not real. No, he did lose some weight, but nah, his stomach's big as hell still."
No, I got fooled by a filter. I got fooled so much. I was like, "Oh shit, look at this cutie pie." If you got a link tree, you definitely got a OnlyFans. If you have a link tree in your profile and you're a female, there's an OnlyFans. So I clicked, and sure enough, there is an OnlyFans. So it's like, oh word, oh $3.99. Shit, I will give you $3.99. See what's going on. What the fuck is it? The filters got me, son. And I should have known. I should have looked through more pictures.
Well, you know what? It got me thinking the other day. I saw an advertisement. I think it's for the newest iPhone. And it says something like, very true to life color to the actual picture. I was like, that's pointless because everyone's been using filters. They don't want that shit to look real.
Yeah, no one. Yeah, get the fuck out of here with
So
that
it's
shit.
like, who cares about that? You want your picture, and then you hit enhance, and you got some better colors than they actually look. I don't think anyone cares about the true to life color anymore.
Yeah, it is weird. Like,
We don't see pictures anymore of what things actually look like.
yeah, it's fucking bizarre. It does throw me off when I see someone post a picture and it's not like there's no filter on it. It's actually kind of a breath of fresh air, but it's still confusing.
Yeah, I mean, now we're used to it. And one thing I was thinking the other day is like how kind of like how photo albums was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, again, pictures are. I mean, the online stuff. At least you can't lose it, can't get damaged. As long as you remember your password.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted,
Shout out to MySpace.
Yeah, the early MySpace days, we had the shitty camera phones where shit was blurry as hell.
I think.
Which I found some old pictures moving. The one was like a bunch of sets when your old apartment. I got you standing on your head against the wall,
That's wild.
body slamming Sarah.
Yeah, no, I remember you tell me about it all the time. I'm
And-
abusive. She should have made
You showing you were very proud of your painting in one picture,
I did a
while
painting.
holding a Bud Light in the other.
What painting was that? I don't even.
the Starry Night
Oh,
joint.
oh. Yeah, when we moved, we threw that shit out.
Like literally, you're holding there like, and there's a Bud Light also.
Yeah, I mean, because we gets down. Yeah, we were actually talking about photo albums the other day because I've mentioned on here before. I went through and threw away all my high school yearbooks. I actually have a couple photo albums. I actually kind of went through some of those and just started throwing those out too. It's like because it was like pictures of people that just didn't matter. People that weren't in my life anymore. So it's like, why do I need, and Sarah gives me a hard time about shit like that. Lots of people give me a hard time about it. But to me, the industry that I work in, it enables, yeah, it enables hoarders. And I don't want to be, and I mean, you can look at this basement. I'm kind of still in that spot when you look at that bin right there. I mean, granted, there's an air mattress in there, so there's a purpose. I don't even know what's in that fucking box right there.
I got my stuff down to like a few bins. There's a few things probably don't need, but I'm just gonna keep at this point. I do have our senior yearbook and I have our 8th grade yearbook.
I feel like I kept the senior year one.
So I have those two. I have a few old pictures. They're all of like one summer really, because it was probably those disposable cameras back in the day.
Yeah.
And then my mom made me 2 photo albums. So it's mostly from like when I'm a kid.
Man, I'd hate for my grandma to make me a photo album, find all those fucking dick pics. She'd be like, "Oh my god." like, what are you doing? Like, Grandma, I was trying to get a date.
Yeah, today's photo album of pictures people take like pictures like that. Oh yeah. Well, now that made me think. Do people use filters on their dick pics?
I just feel like you have to.
Enhance it.
Like, nobody just wants to look at a regular ass dick. It's like, that's why chicks be rejecting them. It's like, ugh, look at that, just natural ass pictures. Where are the filters? Like,
You gotta put a smiley face on there?
maybe, I don't know. Like, I wonder, like, filters for like
Yo, so
chicks that love caves.
what's up? Well, you have a young daughter. What's up with Pepe the Pig?
I don't know because she doesn't watch Peppa Pig.
Well, but
Yeah, it looks like a dick.
I was like, what? This is too obvious. There's no chance that that's not what it is to me.
Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?"
So then I looked it up. I was like, was the artist messing with people? Because this is fucked up.
So that's actually something I just remembered. I didn't write on the board. I forgot. And I hate like going to things that's not on the board, even though that's what we do all the time. Anyway, we just talk about everything and anything. But there is. So I saw this outrage all week about this show called Little Demon on Hulu. So I didn't know where it was yet. I just saw people posting it saying, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. Little Demon. And they start like talking about the show. And I saw it on Instagram from a well-respected jiu-jitsu black belt. And I went to find it. He deleted it. I think he probably got some blowback from it. Because it's like, okay, Little Demon. So I went and looked up the show. It's on Hulu. I was like, okay, it's an animated show. And it's about a woman who has a kid with the devil. The devil's coming back, wants his kid. She's Antichrist. it's not for kids. But these motherfuckers are like, have you seen this kid's cartoon? Disney's not even trying to hide it anymore. They're all evil people. So I watched it. It's pretty funny. It's a funny show. It's not great by any means, but it's pretty funny. I think Danny DeVito and his daughter are voicing Satan and the mom, and Aubrey Plaza's the daughter. It's funny, and it's wild. It's like, it's very over the top, just crazy. But for anyone to say, "Oh my God, look what they're doing," it's like, did you even watch the show? Because that's what a lot of people do now. They'll judge something without watching it and say, they're killing our kids, they're warping our kids. Oh my God, and they want to turn them into trans people. Like, oh my God. And then they're gonna take them to a fucking drag show next. It's like, well, number one, that show is not for kids. And we've had to have a talk with Sophie to let her know. Even though it may be a cartoon, like, some things aren't meant. Like, when she goes on my profile to watch things on Disney Plus, Sarah has to remind her, like, not every cartoon on Daddy's profile is for kids. So you have to ask us, just to make sure. She typically goes on Sarah's to watch things, but sometimes, like, we'll watch, like, National Geographic shit, which is available on Sarah's as well. But I don't like going to her fucking profile because her profile's fucking gay. But then, like, if she goes to Hulu, she has her own profile there. She doesn't fuck with mine. And in HBO, we're borrowing someone else's HBO. So we're all on my profile, which the Harley Quinn cartoon, not for kids. But she likes Harley Quinn. She's aware of Harley Quinn. She's a fan of Harley Quinn. And she's like, ooh. And we're like, no, not for you. And it sucks because she's a fan. But that goes to the thing a few years back when Deadpool came out. And his one mom was like, Deadpool's rated R. She's like, well, I'm going to petition for them to release a PG-13 version because my kid is a Deadpool fan. And I want my kid to be able to watch this movie. It's like, bitch, if you don't sit your stupid fucking...
Make your own movie.
Yeah. Like, why don't you get your fucking ragamuffin fucking kid and put him in a fucking bitch-ass Deadpool suit and make your own fucking stupid fucking movie, you fucking malignant cunt. Like, the fucking audacity of people just, with shit like that. It's like, I want my kid to be able to watch it, so you have to make a version for my kid. It's like, bitch, fuck your kid. And fuck your punk-ass daddy, too. Fucking shoot him in his face. Damn. That's from the Boys in the Hood, It's like, get your punk-ass brother. I'll get my daddy to shoot your punk-ass brother in the face.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
Oh, God. What a great movie. I'm going to watch that after I watch The Exorcist.
That was a great movie.
Yeah, it was.
The whole Ricky scene, that was rough.
Anytime I meet anybody named Ricky,
like, you gotta run, yo.
That's immediate. As soon as I meet them, I do the Ricky yell, Ricky, run! And they're like, what? I was like, you just don't get it, son. So,
I just gotta say this real quick. This is funny. Dumb boys. Because when I looked up, Dak just got thrown like a rag doll. Dak is 7 for 18, 57 yards and an interception.
God damn, that makes my
dumb
nipples
boys,
hard.
yo.
They dumb
For
boys.
them people that got CD Lamb in the second round, one catch for 16 yards.
And that catch was early. That catch was the first series.
He's got 7 targets though.
I mean, that's worth something. But
so yeah, I mean Tampa Bay.
Targets.
What is good old Tom doing? Well, he's 199, 1 touchdown, 110 in rating. Oh, Fournette. I was like hesitant. I was like surprised he was like projected as early second rounder, but it's because they got rid of the other back, so he's not sharing time anymore.
Yeah,
he's 19 for 112.
Nice.
5.9 a carry.
I mean, but that's the thing. When he came out of college, he was that dude, but people were just like, I mean, he was with Jacksonville too, so it's like Jacksonville had a crowded backfield, and they weren't a very good team. So when they got Fournette, it was like, okay, he's the future of that position. He never got to shine.
Yeah, something happened with him. Why he left, I can't remember what.
Yeah, he left under weird circumstances.
Because he was good for them.
Yeah.
And then for Tampa Bay, it was like they just had so many running backs. They tended to use him more towards playoff time.
And then here we are.
And now he's the man. And
well, I got his backup just in case, because he's going to get hurt.
who's his backup now?
I don't know. That guy that I drafted.
Said Ronald Jones. I don't think they have
No, it's that dude. He's a rookie. because we were talking about it last week. You're like, you drafted this dude, you don't even know his name. I was like, yeah, I don't know. I just grabbed him. Like I didn't even know they was the backup. I just picked him. I was like, oh, running back. I need one of those. And there's this guy.
Yeah, Dak looks shook.
Because he is shook. He's losing 19-3.
Yeah, and I mean he has 50 yards.
I mean,
I said he had interceptions, so that would give him, I think, -1.
I hope, because my opponent has them.
There's nothing better than the -1.
Let's see here. Let's go take a look at who I'm playing and what they've got. So Dak has a
Maybe he has some rushing yards.
This is my other league. Let's see here.
We don't have a dumb boys team this year.
So Dak has 3.5 in our league. So it's not terrible.
No, that's terrible.
Yeah, maybe it is.
That's really bad.
My bad, dude. I'm trying to be optimistic. Don't hate. I'm an optimist, son. But fucking Justin.
When your
Jefferson got me
quarterback
fucking
gets you
damn
3
near 40.
points, that's not good.
I mean, the game's not over.
Damn.
There's still
Dude, you're playing.
There's still a quarter.
This team looks rough. Yeah, Cam Akers of a 0.
That's helpful. That helped me because I had Allen Robinson with less than 2.
That Amari Cooper pick. Who'd you think was going to throw him the ball? You know Watson ain't playing until week 11.
I mean, that helps me because Alvin Kamara had 6.
He's got DK Metcalf with Geno Smith.
I mean, look, I had that tight end in Cleveland. I don't know his name, but
Njoku?
Sure, whatever. So I mean, look, the points match up, dude. All right, it was a fair fight, I think.
Well, you still got Russell.
And he still has Metcalf.
Too bad Russell's not throwing the Metcalf.
I mean,
he might. No, I guess he can't. Because it was funny that meme today of Joe Flacco still throwing to the Ravens.
Yeah, I saved that. I'm going to try to repost that later on this week because it's always fun to pick on Flacco. And then just Ravens fans.
Hey, you know Ravens fans were waiting to jump on and be like, Flacco. I knew we should have kept Flacco.
Mm-hmm.
He did throw for 300, so some of them might be like that because I think Lamar threw a pick late when it didn't matter anymore. And Flacco got his touchdown when it really didn't matter anymore.
You know, this is kind of like a Blue Moonish style jump off. Put me like a little orange right here on the side.
Yeah, we need orange.
And my beer mug says introverted but willing to discuss jiu-jitsu. Love it. I wear that I have the t-shirt too.
You're to me, you're a very mix of introverted and extroverted.
Yeah, I know.
You will share a lot.
So that's a designated share. Though.
And you like where you said you like strangers.
So I say things like that. Like I'll say a lot of stuff because it's like I control the narrative. Like I'll say, so when we worked at a job previously together, I remember there was a guy there. He was kind of a chatty guy. He wasn't there for long, and I remember talking to him about bedwetting. I was like, yeah, I used to wet the bed. Now the thing is, I never said what age. And I kept talking about it. And the guy, you know, he got super comfortable and then started talking about he was wetting the bed like 13 and 14. I was like, damn, dude. I was like 5. Like, chill, son. But it's like I'll say things to kind of give comfort to people. And it's like, and I want people to feel comfortable, but it's like there's sometimes where it's like they think, oh, we know Dante. He told us so much. And it's like, I only told you like the things that were like, you know, you don't know the things underneath. Like I'll say shit like, yeah, you know, I'll cry. I don't mind crying. I'm not scared to cry. Sometimes I like to cry. It's relaxing. People might think, oh, like Dante, you know, he'll cry. He's soft. It was like, I'll beat you up and cry while doing it. Like I'll be like choking someone like, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't mean to do this. You made me do it, bitch. And then like, you know, like how OJ was saying it to Nicole.
Me too, of like in terms of like I'm a mix because, and it was funny back in the my first job, real job, besides the slave when I used to be that for my dad. I remember someone asking, another buddy of ours was like, how come Steve never talks to
No,
me? He was
yeah.
like, Steve doesn't only talks to people he likes. And it was like, that was true. It's just because if I don't have, and it's more so is that I don't like small talk. And I'm terrible at small talk. And I really am not even paying attention if it's small talk. When someone says, how are you? I'm probably answering something automatically. And I know you say you actually care. And it's not that I don't care, but if I don't have a connection with you, it's just not comprehending to me for some reason. Or there's been times we're out in a group and there's like maybe one person that whatever might rub me the wrong way. It's not that I dislike them. It's just we don't have a connection to me. So it's like, I don't know what it is. Something blocks out where I'm not hearing anything they're saying. And I might come across rude sometimes. I don't mean to, but it'll be like they're talking and then I'll just like start talking to you. Because I'm just not, it's just, I know we don't have a connection, so I'm just not comprehending it somehow.
Well,
but I do like the...
connections need to be made on both ends, Steve. Not just one person.
Right. And but I don't, I'm not feeling, I think it's that I'm not feeling that person.
You need to make an effort, Steve.
But if I'm just not feeling that person.
You need to make an effort, Steve.
But no, I will say like, I like having my time to myself sometimes, but then I am the type that likes like concerts in the middle of the crowd sometimes. If it's, something I like. I will like going to bars. I don't mind the crowd because I zone out the crowd. It's just the people I'm with. But when it's like a positive energy, which the city gives me sometimes, and I don't know if you ever felt this, but I feel like a more party vibe in the city, which would kind of give me energy. Sometimes when we'd go to the bar, we liked Second Chance, which I loved, but sometimes it was like that depressed alcoholic energy, and I would feel that, and it would put me kind of in a down mood sometimes.
So I have a note on that, though. And I think part of what that is because we had been going there for so many years. We acclimated to it, and we saw people that were always there.
Yeah,
so that contributes
there.
To that.
I'm not feeling the... we drinking like the...
Yeah. Like you're at a point where you're drunk at the bar, and you clearly shouldn't be sitting
and
at
you
the bar.
don't even look happy. You're just looking like, this is just what I do.
It's like I don't like, and that's the thing. I'm like the complete opposite of that. It's like I despise going out to things. Now I will go out to things, and once I'm there, I enjoy it for the most part. But you got to get me there. If you say, like when I went out to brunch with Winter, that's a whole different vibe because it's daytime. We're moving. It's like city life at night, especially. I don't like nighttime stuff anyway. I don't trust crowds. I don't trust people. I just see too much shit that goes on that makes me uneasy around people. Which is why, like, when like if you say, like if we went to watch a game on a Sunday afternoon, like early, I'm down for that. Down enough for it because it's daytime. I can maneuver. Nighttime is just too much shit that goes on, and also I've seen enough shit that just went south.
The last time I went to Baltimore was, it was a wild crowd. It turned into just people walking in the middle of the street, like dancing in front of cars and shit. And I told you, we had that one privileged white girl walking down the street. That shit put me in a bad mood when the homeless dude asked for money, and she's like, "Fuck you!" Like flicked him off in his face. I was like, "God damn!" And then I would say more and more inner city Baltimore people are coming out to like Fed Hill at night. So it's, you've seen videos online lately. It's like twerking in the middle of the street, and then like they're standing on cars now. It's like, what the fuck is going on?
See, and that's the thing. It's like people.
It's getting a little too wild.
People have this privilege thing, this invincibility complex, all this bullshit. It's like I don't fuck with any of that. My whole thing is like, again, if you say let's go out during the day, catch the game or something, I'm gonna have a few beers, watch the game. Or if you say, I'm having some people over, if I can get over there, I'm gonna come through. But
there's a decent amount of people too that just can't handle drinking.
Yeah,
or they become belligerent, or they become angry. They're like not fun to be around, and those people in a bar could just ruin it for everyone. It's like, and I've seen a lot. Like one of the last times day drinking was fun, but as I was walking back to my car, this girl was just screaming at her boyfriend for no reason. He's just like, please, please, just stop. Let's go home. And she's just making the biggest scene ever, like throwing. Then she starts throwing cones in the middle of the road. It's like, what the hell is wrong with her?
So I've seen that scenario. I've been out with people in that scenario, and it sounds kind of counterproductive, especially when it's a female. It's like when they start getting that way, the best thing to do is like that guy's like, please stop, let's go. Nah, just leave. Now that's gonna make them angrier, and then they're gonna want to come after you even more. But the thing is like, okay, like you can do that if you want, but I'm in a car and I'm driving away. You can say whatever you want. I'm not there, so I don't hear you. You can call my phone and leave all the voicemails you want. Guess what I'm not going to do? Listen to my, I think my voicemail's full anyway. You can't leave a voicemail anyway. All this shit. It's like next time I see that person, they can choose to either own up to and apologize, which they did. But also, like, just period, when people start getting to that point, like, my whole feeling is like, just fucking leave them. Like, well, because having worked in childcare, when a little kid's throwing a tantrum, let that little motherfucker throw that tantrum.
Yeah, honestly, that's what that dude, because it was making her worse.
Yeah.
He's like, come on, let's just go.
Because she wants the attention, and he's giving that to her, and now she's feeding off that attention. And that's not just women, that's dudes too. I mean, look, I'm an equal opportunist here. I'm going to call everybody a fucking piece of shit. I'm not Andrew Tate. I'm not just going to call women shit. I'm going to call dude shit too. He's shit too. But the thing is, it's like, when people start getting that way, it's like, look, man, that shit's stressful. Like, when I go out, I want to have fun. I want to have a good time. But honestly, just with, being fucking high anxiety, I just can't. Because I'm too worried about what's going to happen. Versus, like, I could still have fun, have a good time. But it's like, at night, it's just, I've seen too many things go south where I'm like, I don't trust it.
It definitely gets a little sloppy at night.
Like, daytime, I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. Like, daytime
tends to be a little bit older crowd, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
21-year-olds don't know how to handle the liquor yet.
No. Oh,
the mugs do a shot and they're off the wall.
I remember someone said that to me when I was 21. I was in the bar, like, oh, that's why you acting fucked up, because you knew to drink. I was high on acid. So, I was like, and I remember I went off. I was ready for war with this dude. Mind you, I'm fucking 21. This is a grown-ass man. He was a big dude, too. If my friend Toby wasn't there, if she wasn't there, he probably would have just fucking smashed me, and I would have deserved it. But yeah, the older Dante's, like, I go out now. I remember we're out somewhere several years back, and I was with a friend. And I was with a group of friends, and I remember this one guy. He knew another group that came up there, and we had a mixed group of males and females. And one of the females was like, oh, we're just going to go hang out with these guys. And the guy that I was with was like, he looked at me and was like, no. They're like those aren't the kind of guys to hang out with. So I go over and try to, well, maybe this isn't a good idea. And it turned to this whole thing. And the guy comes over to me, trying to, talk calm to me and, convince me, nah, it's okay, you guys can come back and hang out with us, it's okay, it's good, da-da-da. And then the female who's saying we're gonna hang out with them got belligerent, angry, rah, we're gonna go hang out with them. And I was like, no, we're not, we all came here as a group in one car, so I don't want us all to split up and separate. This is not a good idea. So later on, that guy comes up to me, this is hours later. Hey man, you're a real good friend. You're a real good friend. I probably wouldn't have let my friend go off with some strangers either. I mean, you're a real good friend. And I was like, I know I'm a good friend. That's why I protect my friends. And I wasn't trying to be a dick to him. I wasn't trying to make it an aggressive thing. It was just I don't fucking know you. And I made that clear. And even the other guy that was with us who knew him shook his head, was like, no. No, not that guy.
Yeah, I remember times when we were young, being in Fed Hill, just when people would want to not drift, but head to someone's house. And I'm not feeling the house thing after the bar. Like,
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
go get some food and go home. So I would purposely drift away from everyone and be like, oh, I lost everyone. But it was kind of like a like, I wasn't even doing it on purpose necessarily. I was, but not thinking about it. It's like, oh, I lost you guys, so I guess I got to go home. And the other thing, it made me remember one time we went to a concert in Fed Hill, that little 8x10 club, with a large group of people, and just all of the other people, because I went with a close friend. We start walking out after the show, and it's just nonstop drama. One girl's mad at another girl, they're crying. One girl lost her best friend. I happened to find her best friend. I was like, hey, I found your friend. We're here. They start crying. The friend shows up, start crying. It's just like nonstop. It's like 10 females just crying all over each other.
It was
like,
probably all bleeding.
but yeah, it was like, and the friend I went with were like, we don't have this drama. We don't ever like care. We're just like, we don't have. But yeah, it was crazy to walk around and you just find people you know, and all of them are crying. Like, what the hell is going on? Y'all don't want to have fun? Because when I go to the city, I just want to have fun. I don't want to have any drama.
And that's what I mean. It's like I just want to go out and have fun. It's like, and if I can go out and not stress and worry and have fun, then I always feel like the less people in the group, the more fun it can be for me. So it's like if there's like 4 of us, we go like when we went to the Ravens game. That was fun. Now, mind you, we was fucking punch drunk by the time the game was over. At least I was.
Oh, damn. Our little Tricky rendition. Tricky came on at the gym the other day, and Bay was looking at me like, this your song, right?
Like us being, like, did we go any, like, we were only at Pickles, right? We didn't go anywhere else, did we?
No.
Yeah, because we came back here and
Did we
record.
go to Pickles before and after?
Yes.
Okay.
We were there before. Well, so did I see you before over there? I think I did.
I think we saw you before and after.
Yes, because Dave was already inside in front of the concert thing, and I don't know if I saw
think
you.
when we did Tricky, we were pretty lit.
Yeah, no, that was
It was
after.
after.
That was after. But I'm trying to think. Did we meet? Yeah, because I remember.
I think we did for a drink.
because we're
I think we met for a drink.
We
and
had a
you're like,
drink.
you gotta go.
Yeah, I had to meet up with Dave, and then I think we met up again in there though, because as Dave and I were over there, you and Bay went to the bathroom, and then you came over. I was like, I introduced you, and then we all parted ways again. That dude, he is an enabler if I've ever met one. This dude was just feeding me fucking beer. It was like I may as well just been a fucking duck that was getting stuffed with fucking beer down my gizzard. He was like, I was like, yo, what the fuck, son? But it was a fun time.
Sounds like a good friend.
And then I got COVID.
Oh. Oh yeah, because we didn't.
Yeah, because I was doing the COVID. I was doing the AIDS call. I was like, dude, how you feeling? Good. Yeah, you might want to get tested. Like, I got it. Like, you got what? It. The word. Like, I got the C word. Cunt? Like, yeah.
I got the cunt.
But, nah, like, and that was the thing. It was like, after that, it was like us three. It's like, that was, like, fine. I felt fine. Even when we went day drinking and, it was me, you, and Vic. Fine. It was fine. I feel like when the group gets, like, 5 and more, then it starts getting chaotic because now you gotta, like, you don't have to, but I always feel like I have to, like, now track and get, because again, being in childcare, so when you go outside or you go on a field trip, you always have to count the kids. Like, we came outside with 8 kids, we gotta go back inside with 8 kids. That's how I feel at the bar. All right, we showed up with 5 of us, we gotta leave with 5 of us. Like, okay, good. There's all 5 of us again. It's like Home Alone. You count somebody else. I was like, all right, we're good. Let's go home. And get in the car. Like, all right, we're missing somebody, ain't we? Like, oh shit. But I don't know. Like, I like to, again, I like to go out, but selectively. Like, I don't like to just go out. Like, for occasions, like birthdays. Like when we did Jen's birthday at Guinness, the brewery, a few years back. That was fun. It was a group of people. It was fun. And like my whole thing was like, okay, Jen's gonna be there, Steve's gonna be there. Those are my people. And you know, there are others there that I enjoy their company too, but specifically, you guys were there. Um, uh, Dawn and Rob. You know, I was like, okay, you know, we're here. I think Sarah and Sophie came for a minute and then they left.
Yeah, they're there.
But you know, it's like stuff like that. It's like, okay, it was kind of a controlled environment. And then, you know, just period. Like whenever we go to Second Chance, it was like a known environment. I think it's when I go to the city, there's just too many variables. So it's like I'd rather go with the smallest possible group to the city versus going with like 15 people. And it's like, okay, we came here with 15. I'm only counting 10. Where are those other fucking 5? And it's like, well, I don't know. It's like, fuck. Their parents are never going to let them go on a field trip with me again. Like, no more permission slips are being signed. This is some bullshit.
Yeah, so, that's too many. Yeah. But yeah, I like, we have to do a day drink. I went to, for the first time, Frederick downtown the other week. And
it's pleasant.
It looked like, kind of like Fed Hill or Fells Point, except it was all older white people.
It's a pleasant place. I mean,
so I had mixed
not
feelings.
At nighttime for black people.
I had mixed feelings because it was daytime, so there wasn't a lot of people out. But at first, I got real excited. I was like, "Oh, this is like Baltimore," but the bars didn't have like the fun vibe to me. But again, it was daytime, and it was like one of the bars we went to. I bet the average age was 50, so it was like the alcoholics.
What time of day was this?
It was like a Saturday, but like maybe 2 in the afternoon, something like that.
Yeah, that's what you're gonna get on a
it was like
Saturday in Frederick.
It was like the alcoholics out, and but yeah, I mean, I'd be down to try there again. And I only went to one bar. The prices were great though. I think they had PBR, which PBR is not that great, but I think it was like under $2 for a draft.
Then it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? This is the best beer ever.
They had the snake dog was like 3 something, which that's like a 8%er, something close to that. We reviewed it.
Where did I go? Where did
I want to go to Flying Dog. I thought Flying Dog was in Frederick, the downtown, but it's not.
Hold on. Oh, I didn't pay. Did I pay? Hold on. I went somewhere recently where I had the Sour Monkey. I want to take you out there. Hold on, let me check. See if I still have the what you call it.
That was the 88 from the other week. That was last week, I think.
Yeah, last week. Cause like, is it World of Beer? I think it was World of Beer.
I've heard of that place. I've never been.
In Owens Mills. It's fine. It's you know, it's funny because you would think with something called World of Beer to be fucking outstanding. It was okay. It wasn't hateful by any means. It was just one of those places where it was like, it was nice. It was pleasant, had good ambiance. But I think, yeah, we should hit that spot one day for a day drink on like a Sunday morning. Yeah, because they got a bunch of TVs there too, so obviously we're going to get to watch the Ravens lose. And it's like in Owens Mills, so that's like the best place to watch the Ravens lose.
That's their home field.
Yeah, that's why I want to go there and watch them lose. Like, I think they might lose to the Dolphins next week. I just feel it in my blood.
Oh, I think, yeah, the Dolphins. So there was 2 teams I wanted to place a Super Bowl bet on, just because if I was to place a Super Bowl bet, I want it to be somewhat bad odds, not like the obvious odds where you get paid 3-1. That's not that great. To get to 16-1, that's good. So it's going to be the Dolphins because they're like the fastest team I've ever seen. But the other team I really would have put more money on, I'd be willing to do $100 if I did it, was the Vikings. Because the Vikings they lost 8 games by 1 score last year.
The Vikings look good today. Their defense stepped up. Offense looked great.
They were on the verge. I mean, granted, you got to say they lost the games, but they were so close to winning so many games last year where they could have potentially been 1 possession away from being the best team in this regular season last year.
Yeah,
and
easily.
Cousins was beast today.
Yeah, like I agree. The
Jefferson's beast.
Vikings were solid. Jefferson, that dude opened up the game fucking with 12 points. I was like, damn, dude, relax. Don't shoot it all at once.
Yep. Him and Cooper Kupp
he put up a bunch more.
I know there's a lot of people that passed on them where they were ranked.
And that's the thing. I didn't want to take a receiver in the first round because I was just like, they're fine.
Is your 5th?
6th. Yeah.
So Jefferson fell to me to 8th in my league.
Actually, no, I think it was 7th. feel like
I wasn't planning on getting a receiver, but I was like, Jefferson at 8? Yes, please.
Yeah, it's a
Because he was
weird.
ranked 3rd on Yahoo.
It's a weird thing because like looking at it, it's like okay, like where did I? Yeah, so I took him at number 6, and that's the thing. Like I was like, I don't want a receiver that early, but
I'll
you
take
kind of
him.
have to.
And I would have rather him than Cooper Kupp this year, even though Cooper Kupp looked amazing too.
Yeah,
But
I think
something about Jefferson.
so. I think that's gonna come back to bite them in the ass though, because it's almost kind of like he's only going to Cooper Cup. That's gonna like fail them at some point.
Yeah,
I mean,
Allen Robinson didn't do shit. And
Yeah, trust me, I know.
all those people,
Trust me,
they got
I
Allen
know.
Robinson. I'm like, fuck.
I got a catch from him. One.
They might pick up Odell again once he's comes back.
Like,
I think he'll come back this year. He's got that torn ACL, and no one's obviously signed him until they can see him play again.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got. I don't know. Fantasy football is that weird thing. Like, it's like as much as I love it, I hate it too. Like, I actually had butterflies this morning when the games were coming on because I was nervous about like fantasy football. I didn't give a fuck about the Lions. I was like, fuck them. I know they're gonna lose. I like looking at, but the fact that I benched the Bills defense, and I was like, shit, that was a bad move because I was worried about the Rams just fucking hanging up like 40 on them. But
Yeah.
I also thought the Bills would put up 40 as well.
I picked up, or my defense in almost every, I think it's all leagues. I got San Diego, and they did give up some points. But the thing was,
So
they got
San Diego doesn't have a team anymore.
Oh yeah, my bad. The Los Angeles Chargers.
That's San Diego Chargers.
Because they got Khalil Mack now. He had 2
Right.
sacks already, so they had a ton of sacks and interceptions. They let up some yards and points to the Raiders, which the Raiders I think are a good team.
Yeah.
But again, in fantasy, those sacks and interceptions add up. So
Yep.
I was like, I'll take them because I think they picked up a corner from New England who led the league in interceptions, and then they pick up Khalil Mack. They have Bosa. San Diego's stacked. They're another team that could be a Super Bowl contender this year.
I think people have them in Buffalo as the AFC like teams, but it's like don't sleep on Kansas City. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, freaking! By the way, Mahomes
And-
lit it up.
Yeah, what 5
So
touchdowns?
yeah, he's missing his best receiver, and he
Travis
seemed to do
Kelce was there.
better. So yeah, 5 touchdowns, 360.
And not for nothing. I mean, Baltimore is going to be a problem too. Even though I think the Dolphins are going to beat them next week, but I think Baltimore's going to be a problem long term. And I think Miami's a team on the rise. So there's a lot of good football to be played this year, and I'll be there to watch it.
Yeah, it's too early to tell what's really happening. Right now, the Cowboys look like some dog shit.
19-3. This is
There's
trash.
Dak. Yeah, was that even Dak? Yeah, they took Dak
yeah,
out.
they said, you know what, we're done with this guy. Damn.
Is that No, that's not Andy. He went somewhere else. Oh, that's that one dude.
You know, the
If
guy.
you say his name, I'll know it.
I won't.
He's been there.
So I remember doing fantasy football years ago when we did a league with Mario, the guy at the Phoenix, the owner. He was the commissioner of the league. They had, however it was set up with quarterbacks, the backup quarterback. So if your starter gets hurt and the backup comes in, you get the points for that backup.
Cooper Rush, that's his name. He looks kind of like redheadish. Carson Wentz with more hair.
But I like that thing. But I remember in the discussions before the draft, people are like, well, what about running backs? You get points for the backup running backs. And like the owner, or Mark at the time, was just like, I understood what the rule was. It was almost like he strictly said quarterbacks only. Then someone was like, well, what if you have like what if, let's say, you have one quarterback and I draft their backup? He was like, why would you draft a backup quarterback? He still kept the thing set up. I don't think anyone had to utilize it, but it was just like, yo, people overcomplicate things.
Oh yeah. So so both leagues, I guess I'm a commissioner. I took out the gray areas. So there used to be the injured reserve rule.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be if the person's out, you could put them on IR. But the problem is everyone was taking advantage of that. Of like, you could pick someone up. It allowed you to because the program didn't regulate it.
Yeah.
It was a commissioner basically judgment call. So you could pick someone up every week, not drop someone until the game before if that person ended up, being questionable. And then it was like I started to give people zeros because it'd be like, yo, that dude was out and you have him on your IR. He's like, well, he was questionable. I was like, no, game time, he was listed as out and you put him on IR. And or we had situations where the dude played one play.
So there was I saw that today on my other Yahoo League because I was like, all right, I still have room to pick someone up. Like there's still games. And I saw the IR thing. I was like, I had who was out? Kittle and Dobbin. And I was like, oh, I could put them on IR. I was like, but they're not like out. They're just out this game.
Yeah.
Because I mean, my conscience was like, the fair thing is no. If they're out for like several weeks, okay. Like if you go pick up Odell right now, yes, he goes on IR. He's out. You don't know if he's coming back. But like Kittle will probably be back next week.
Yeah. So yeah, I ended up taking that rule out. I think another league I'm in, they did the same thing because it's too much of a judgment call. Like,
yeah.
I remember having to give someone a zero, and they're like, they text me 10 minutes after the game started, like, oh, I meant to drop so and so, and I was like, I'm gonna leave it up to the person you're playing against, and the person they're playing against is like, I mean, it is what it is. He broke the rule. So I was like, yep,
I agree.
I agree, but I mean, he did try, but technically the game started. It was too late, and so I was like, you got a zero. Sorry, dude. And then now it's just like, well, we have 6 bench spots. If you want to have someone that's out, like, and that's the other thing is people were stashing people that were suspended, which was kind of whack. It was kind of cool if you were the one of the ones that got it.
But that's part of the game.
It's like, all right, you got 6 roster spots. You want to keep them on your roster spot, now it's going to cost you a little bit. Yeah. Like, you could do it like DeAndre Hopkins. I don't remember how many games he's suspended, but he's drafted in someone. But whoever has him now, got to keep him on their bench for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Where if we had that IR rule, it's like they're not really getting hurt by that.
No, I mean, them's the rules, son. It's like you have to understand. It's like, yeah, if you take someone like that, it's high risk, high reward. You sacrifice a bench spot, but this could be someone that's going to be a fucking monster when he comes back.
Yeah, so I like getting rid of the IR rule because just, again, it takes the judgment call out of it.
Yeah.
You can still pick up those players if you want, but, yeah, that's a roster spot now.
We need to rate this beer.
Oh, yeah, we finished it pretty good. Tasty Taste
Thanks.
by Pariah Brewing Company out of Baltimore. Never heard of them, actually. And it's an American IPA with notes of ripe pineapple, tangerine sorbet, and earthy citrus. Not citrus, but earthy citrus.
That sounds nasty.
There was something unique. Oh. They claim that the experience improves as the beer warms. So maybe this wasn't a cold beer. 7.5%, the important part. Yes. I will say I like the can. Colorful.
I mean,
it's a hazy style IPA, and this one looked a more hazy style.
Yeah, it did.
It wasn't brown. It was orangish.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you could get a slice of orange for the sun, bitch. It'd be just like a blue moon.
Says we should have enjoyed it in an IPA glass.
Or whatever the fuck that means.
But yeah, I'll go first. This one, I gave it a 6.9 because I wrote it down.
All right. What was the percentage again?
7.5.
7.5. That's pretty solid.
That's that sweet range.
I feel like I would buy this. So I'm gonna give it a 7. No, you know what? 7.1. 7.1.
Oh, we gave it the 7.1 strategy to give it that 7. I think I've done that a few times. Dante gives it a 6.9. I'll give it a 7.1. No, 7.
Man, that is, son. I'm trying to make that math easy for you, son.
I do. I like that. There's a few times where small, really far apart, and I'm like, oh, and I gotta break out the calculator for a second, make sure I got this right.
I hate that shit at work. Somebody asks a question, I gotta get the calculator out. It's like, man, fuck out my face. You got too many questions. When you ask a question, I need to break out the calculator. I get angry because it's like, fuck.
There was one day recently I accidentally made our graphic and I reversed the scores by accident. And I was like, do I want to fix it? Because it doesn't matter. It's the total score. But it bothered me. I was like, I got to fix it because this is wrong.
Yeah, well, no, I get it. That, like, that shit, it gets under your skin. All right, let's jump to these movies real quick. So you watch Maverick.
Yeah, well, Maverick, yeah, we already did the review again, but I think you gotta watch it. Well, if you
I want to watch
again,
it.
if you didn't like Top Gun, because it was a great movie that paid homage to the first one very well, but was still a good movie in its own
So
right.
I think it's gonna be on Paramount, and I'll end up watching it on there.
Definitely some great action scenes. But yeah, so my brother hadn't seen it, and he does tend to like very much those type of movies. But yeah, I mean, he really, really loved it, and Bea really loves it. It's a good movie. One of the things I always just find hilarious about is the love interest of Tom Cruise in that, where she's good looking, and how they couldn't bring back that one girl. Just makes me chuckle every time.
Because she's not a Scientologist.
No, she's just not attractive.
Well, because she's not a Scientologist.
But yeah, how old is Tom Cruise?
I think he's coming up on 60 now.
Yeah, because there is a scene briefly where he's shirtless, and he's got that like Ric Flair build now, or the muscles are like, you could tell he's still pretty fit, probably pretty strong for his age, size, but his muscles are like sagging.
He just turned 60 on July 3rd.
Oh,
I wish he was born on
he
July
looks
4th
really good
because he was in that movie
60
Born
is
on
not
the 4th
the
of
same
July.
thing. My grandmother, who passed away at 100, she looked what she looked like at 100 when I was born, pretty much. So she looked like an old woman, from, I want to say, whatever, she was 50-ish when I was born, so 100.
Yo, Tom Cruise last name is wild as fuck.
His real last name? Yeah, it's probably not.
Yeah, it's like, well, because like his cousin was on Lost. The dude who played Ethan.
Oh.
Like,
I do remember Ethan.
Yeah, he was one of the others. Yeah, like, so that actor's last name, because I remember that actor in the last name. I was like, because I remember people talk about it, like, that's Tom Cruise's cousin. You see the last name. I was like, I guess, I mean.
You got to, actually,
but,
now I'm thinking more and more. They do have some little similarity.
But, like,
they got that nose and hair.
I don't even know how to say that.
Mapother.
See, there we go. That's
Tom
it.
Mapother. Oh, he wouldn't have been a start.
Oh my God. I couldn't have gone to school with that kid.
Yeah, Tom Mapother. I'm like, he's whack.
Cole Kidman was like, I'm not taking your last name.
I know Vin Diesel definitely gotta be a made up name.
Yeah, actually, I remember seeing his name somewhere years ago, and I was like, yep, that makes about sense.
Is Brad Pitt a real name?
I believe so, but let's see here. Vin Diesel, what is your real name, son?
I feel like it's gonna be funny.
Nah, actually, I think it just kind of did a quick.
I hope
God
it's
damn
like
it.
David Johnson.
Nah, it's Mark Sinclair.
What?
Yeah, that shit is whack.
He went from Mark Sinclair to Vin Diesel. He gave himself a superhero name, and it worked.
I mean, sometimes it does.
That is a tight name, Vin Diesel.
Let's see here. Brad Pitt. What is your real name? Looks like it's Brad Pitt.
Oh, there you go. When you're that good looking, you don't gotta change your name.
Yeah, you gotta change your name. It's like, I'm Brad Pitt, bitch. What's up? Let's see here. Yeah, I don't see any other name here other than Brad Pitt. He's like, look at that, spouses, Angelina Jolie and Jennifer Aniston. Just fucking taking down the fucking smoke show, son. Like, just sticking it in them. Like, over and over again. So, but that's cool. Yeah, I do want to see Maverick. I will. When it hits Paramount or some shit, I'll watch it. So, I finally got around to watching Thor, Love and Thunder. I got some crazy mixed feelings about it.
Yeah, it's a mixed feeling movie.
So, I hated the comedy. It was too heavy-handed.
Too much.
It was just over the top. It was just too much. There's a lot of that story that just felt like there are pieces missing. The story felt rushed. It just it felt like, what am I even watching? Now, once they got to that battle with Gore, to kind of set the tone, I want to say about maybe the 45-minute mark, the movie got good. Like, I enjoyed it a lot from that point on. So I didn't hate the movie, but I for sure didn't love it with any thunder. So
No, like I liked the movie, but it was like it's way over the top in the silliness. Too much.
Yeah.
It was like Guardian of the Galaxy type humor, but too much of it.
Yeah, and the thing is, from what I understand, I don't know if this is true. The director will not be coming back for the next Thor movie, which is fine. I can do without him.
I found it silly when all the kids were
Yeah.
fighting. That part was silly.
Yeah, that kind of checked out there. There's some parts where I was like, it's okay, that's funny, but it's a little much still. I don't know. There's a lot to that movie. Like,
They could have made it so much better. If they, similar to any of the first three Thors with, his name's still on my mind now, from the drink, Gore.
Yeah.
With him, was a great character. They could have done a lot more.
Yeah, I wanted so much
I'm
more
all
from that character.
for them putting some humor in, like the Thor 3, but this one was like, it felt like it was too much punchline.
Yeah. So this weekend also was Disney's Expo D23, where they reveal all the upcoming stuff. New cartoons, new Marvel properties, new Star Wars properties, all of it. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because, like, I've just spent too much time talking about it already, and we're already 2 hours in. But what I always find funny is people's wish lists. You know, what they like, well, you can expect that they're going to probably announce Deadpool 3, and then they're going to announce Midnight Suns, and they're going to announce Doctor Strange, Dark Dimension. You know, these are things that I did see people were expecting them to announce. None of that was announced.
I assume Guardians of the Galaxy.
They didn't. Well, so Guardians.
Something's got to be coming.
So they didn't give us any public stuff. There's stuff in Hall H that they did show, like a little clip, a little teaser for the crowd that was there at the event. So trailers that we got at least trailers that are available. I cannot fucking remember it now because my brain locked up. So Disney, just period, they're doing like a bunch of new shows and stuff. Everyone was expecting to get a reveal for Fantastic Four. Nothing. We got a director. They have a director listed for it. We know the dates. They did show an Ant-Man trailer at the hall. We didn't get access to that as, you know, regular people. Another Black Panther trailer that kind of went more into what we're going to get with the story. But again, this is all at the hall. They announced a new team, Thunderbolts, which is basically Marvel's version of Suicide Squad. So what got me with that, I posted it in the Nerd Rage Facebook page. Oh, man. So many people emotional. That's not the team at all. That this is such a waste. It's like, because these are all characters that have already been introduced. They're all villains that have been captured or introduced in some capacity. So that team's going to consist of Winter Soldier, Yelena, basically the new Black Widow, the father from Black Widow, Taskmaster, the villain from Black Widow, Ghost, who was in Ant-Man 2, the chick from Seinfeld who's out there recruiting them all, the fake Captain America, aka U.S. agent from Falcon and Winter Soldier, and a lot of people are expecting we're going to get Red Hulk, Abomination, and Baron Zemo. None of that is part of the team, and people are upset about that. Like, oh my god, jerk off. Like, I hate this fucking fandom. Like, I truly hate this fandom with such a passion. I'm part of the fandom. I'm stalling because I'm trying to remember what the trailers were that I saw. Hold on 1 second. Now I gotta go and fucking pull it up and look. Alright, here it is. So, it wasn't any trailers for movies. It was like trailers for shows and series. So, there's a series coming out called Werewolf by Night. So, comic book wise, that's the comic book that Moon Knight first debuted in. So, Moon Knight show has already happened, so it doesn't really matter. But the show looks dark. It looks grim. It's all in like that classic black and white. It looks scary. I'm down. Then they showed a trailer for Secret Invasion. So comic book wise, there's a story in the comics where basically the Skrull, they're all shapeshifters. They were impersonating a lot of superheroes, and they had been doing so for a very long time. In the comic, the story was a lot better because they were able to do a lot more. The show looks fun, but I don't think it's going to go to the lengths that the comic went. But it still looks fun, the full trailer that they showed. They announced that they're going to be doing the Armor Wars series, which is going to be starring Don Cheadle, who plays War Machine. And that's going to follow right off the coattails of Secret Invasion because Don Cheadle's in that as well. Then they announced the villain for Ironheart, which is going to be a character introduced in Black Panther. She's also going to be a female version of Iron Man. And a lot of people are upset about all the female characters now. The MCU, they call it now, because women are strong and we don't like women being stronger than us. She-Hulk stronger than Hulk? What a joke. It's such an abomination. See what I did there? Abomination. I fucking hate this fandom so fucking much, yo. Like, I want to beat them all up. Like, really. I want to fucking start just punching everyone who gets upset. Like, oh, She-Hulk's twerking, but she doesn't want to be objectified. Like, so a woman can't fucking dance? like, damn, dog, relax. They announced the new character for the Loki series. Or season 2. Fantastic Four director has been confirmed. Captain America, New World Order. So this is big news. You know, most people probably don't remember it because a lot of people don't remember that Incredible Hulk movie that had Ed Norton. But there was a character that was trying to help him find a cure. He ended up getting knocked over, and then some of the shit got into his blood. He would eventually become this villain called the Leader. So that character, that actor, will be coming back as that villain. That'll be the main villain for the new Captain America movie, starring Black Captain America, Anthony Mackie. I know some people are like, don't say Black Captain America, just call him Captain America. No, I'm going to say Black Captain America because I can't because I'm black. And then they announced the cast for Thunderbolts, and that was pretty much it. But everybody got all upset because they're like, oh, they're going to announce so many cool things. We're going to get the X-Men. We're going to get Deadpool 3. We're going to get a trailer for Fantastic Four. We're going to find out, like, all this cool stuff. And it's like, no, you're not, dude. Just shut up. Like, that's the whole thing with all this stuff. Just stop having expectations. Just go into it as a fan. Like, and I used to be that way until one day I realized, it's like, it doesn't matter. I'm not their fucking, like, I'm not their audience. I'm not the base that they're trying to sell to. Like, and I realized that in 2015 when I was trying to read an issue of Spider-Man, like Miles Morales Spider-Man, because he's a teenage kid, and I'm reading this. It was like, this story doesn't connect to me because I'm a fucking 30-some-year-old man, and this is a book for a 13-year-old kid. And that's why I realized with these movies, as fun as they are, I enjoy them, but not everything's for me. When I watch Ms. Marvel over the summer, it's a cute show. It's not for me. But it's a cute show, and I'm not going to say it's a bad show. She-Hulk, it's not for me. I'm not going to say it's a bad show. I hate the CGI in it. It does fucking stress me out. And the episodes feel very short. So I will say it's a bad show. But I'm not saying it's a bad show because of female characters being strong. I think it's a bad show because I don't think it's well written in a lot of areas where they could develop so much more about the character. You know, but people are getting all emotional and stressed. I was like, if you don't like it, then don't watch it. Like, I hate the Justice League that Joss Whedon did. Guess what I don't do? I don't watch that. Like, I tried to watch the other night just to hate watch it because I wanted to get angry at something. And I couldn't even get through it. I was like, what the fuck am I even doing? And I just started cutting myself. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to do that.
Cutting?
That's a fucked up joke. God damn it, dude. What is wrong with me? Like, you got to stop me sometimes.
I didn't know it was coming.
Neither did I. Like, fuck. But yeah, it's like, if you don't like some shit, then don't fucking look at it. Like, the Queen died. And I didn't care. So I stopped looking at news about it.
Yeah, I don't know what she did. She's been the queen for a really long time.
70 years, son.
Does she do anything?
Bus chills.
I know she like lives in the palace. And...
So there was a list of like things that she had a hand in, apparently. And I was like, damn, there's a lot of fucked up shit. It was like all bad stuff. I was like, but then everybody's like, the one thing about, you know, the Queen dying that really kind of got to me was like, I don't care that she died, but people were like, so a few of my friends from the UK messaged me almost immediately. And I told Sarah, I was like, I think they're shooting me that message to kind of say like, dude, chill. No jokes, please. It was like, hey, because I remember I got the one message from my friend Michelle. She was like, I haven't talked to Michelle in a while. She goes, hey. I was like, hey, what's up? She was like, our queen died. I was like, yeah, I saw. And just kind of left it there. Then my friend, who was in Madrid, she's also from the UK. She was like, the queen died. I was like, I saw. It's like it's cooking. Like I was like, oh, let me go ahead and make some memes.
Now y'all got a king again.
Yeah, kind of.
But yeah, it's crazy too. It's like we talk all the time about how we need to get rid of our old system. What the hell do we still have king and queens from?
So
That shit is
I don't
super
know
prehistoric.
how much like power they have though, because they have like prime ministers and all this
Yeah,
shit.
they now they have the House of Parliament and all that, but it's still weird. Like they're gonna continue to have this king and queen, and it's
So-
only in the royal family, and it's like
It had been rumored a while ago, like once she died, it was gonna kind of dissipate. Because
it
like
needs
Charles,
to.
I
It's
think
like, what
isn't-
is this?
I don't think he's kind of on board with a lot of shit that she was on board with. So it's kind of like, because they still own a lot of territories. Like, just fucking give it back to the
he should-
people.
Yeah, I mean, like, give me this palace. We're not calling ourselves king or queen, and I'm gonna bust chills in the palace.
Like I'm just a motherfucker, yo. I'm over here fucking Camille. She's a
We
mother.
don't do anything anymore anyway.
Well, so
Probably cost everyone a lot of money
yeah,
to
taxes
run
and
that
shit.
whole castle, and those guards that stand there for no reason, protecting them from what?
Yeah, they ain't got guns.
They're not allowed to laugh.
But like people are like talking about all the bad things that the queen did, and they're like, and Diana was such a wonderful person, da da da, blase blase. And the funny thing about it, someone pointed out, I was like, yeah, but the thing is, we see all these great pictures about the queen doing all these wonderful things, but then we see these stories that are horrible. I mean, people have two sides to them, like, again, you see all these great pictures about, pictures of Diana doing charity work and these interviews. You don't know what she was like behind the scenes. Like, she was good friends with a pedophile.
She was wild. She was getting on with
Yeah.
I mean, was she officially like cheating?
I
I
don't
know
know.
she had like an affair.
I don't know. I don't speak ill of the dead.
So I mean, that's just wild to be that high in a position to do that.
Well, I think they're separated at the time, maybe. But then there's also rumors that Harry isn't Charles's kid. So, so that was kind of one of those weird things. Like, this motherfucker's never going to be king. Which it didn't matter because William was there anyway. Which is fucked up because, like, again, Queen Elizabeth had Charles and then she had a bunch of other fucking bastards. They weren't going to sniff the crown. And then once William, like, basically had a kid, his kid, or Charles had a kid, his kid is next in line after him. And then after that, if William has a kid, which he did, then that kid is next in line. So it's like that direct line. It's not even like Harry's anywhere in there. Harry's just like some motherfucker chilling, marrying black chicks, like moving to the U.S., which I got a meme for that. I'm going to post that shit tomorrow. Like, because that one is like, I don't want to like post too many things like talk about the queen being dead and all that shit. It's kind of disrespectful. I mean, not that I'm respectful or anything, but
I mean, it's just wild hearing Queen. It makes me think of Game of Thrones.
yeah, that's basically it. I'm waiting for the dragons to come out. Like, because once those dragons hit, son, that's when the series got fucking lit. Like, I hate saying that word. It's lit.
This just looks like someone's old grandma.
Oh, where's the fucking pictures in my downloads? Like, I just have too many fucking pictures saved in my phone. I don't even know what half of these things are for. I just be saving memes that I have no intentions of using.
There's Fournette. There's a lot made that he came in overweight.
Fat fuck. Okay, I don't know where any of this shit is. But either
Why
way.
is he texting his girls? He got caught.
Who, Fournette?
Nah, they see him walking off, but he's like texting on his phone.
Oh. Alright, well,
He's updating his status.
I'm so emotional now. I can't find this one meme. I was excited about it. Now I don't know where it is, so it'll never get posted. And I'm really sad about it. So I guess that's it. I guess I don't got anything else to say then, since I can't find that fucking meme.
We should cover it a lot. We're all
So I didn't think
We
we
got
had a
fights.
lot, because when you look at the board, it's like there's not a lot written there. Like, there are a lot of times this board is full. There's like, because if you take away that part there, It's like the fights, the Queen died, but the NFL was we talked a lot about football. So, but that's it. The season started, so we're back in it. We talk about records that are never going to be broken, like the Queen's like ruling streak. Nobody's breaking that record. Nobody. Unless what happens is Charles dies, then William dies, and his little bastard kid becomes king. How does that work? What if his like kid is like 5?
That would be tight. Yeah, like,
I know Disney gonna make a movie. They're like, can we get the rest of your story? Like the kid who would be king. I'm sure there's a movie already for that. So don't.
You know what streak's not gonna be broken? This is a big one. No one's winning 200 races in NASCAR like Richard Petty.
So that wasn't on the list that I was looking on. So nobody cares. Well, there was a lot of hockey stats on there. I was like, nobody gives a fuck. No, there are a lot of baseball stats. I was like, nobody really gives a fuck about that.
Brady's probably gonna have a lot of stats when he's done.
He has a lot of stats right now
that are not gonna be broken just because. I mean, they just showed him in the pregame. He looked like an old man for the first time. Like his hair looked kind of gray. Favre had gray hair when he played, I believe.
Yeah, he did. But Brady's 45.
But his face looks different. Like he looked really skinny in the face, which I mean, he looks like he's had some lots of Botox.
Giselle's been stressing him.
Well, he said, yeah, he was like, I've been like, this is a wild off season. Like,
yeah, he's like, a lot of shit's been going on.
Like, yeah, it sounded like Giselle been up to some shady stuff.
You know, it's funny. Like when I look at Giselle, I remember looking at her and thinking, like, I don't think she's that pretty. Like I remember thinking that a long time. When I was looking at her recently, I was like, she's actually really pretty. Like she's a pretty girl. So good for her. Good for him. Like good for their kids because
talking about
like they're born into money. So it's like good for them being Kardashians. So all right, let's go ahead and wrap this fucking thing up. I got some shit to do. My wife's home, so I got to edit and try to fuck. So I don't know which order I'm going to do that in.
Same time.
I can't focus like trying to edit and fuck at the same time. It's fucking weird. Not that I've tried it. So thanks everyone as always. We appreciate you. If y'all got any questions, concerns, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram. You can find me at bjj.wiki on Instagram. Steve's at thor.bentley on Instagram. Together we can be found at Colompton Beer Club on Instagram. And we have an email. Steve checks it, I'm sure. But
we get a lot of things for Chester.
That's all right. Shoot us a message and be nice about it. Otherwise, thanks for listening, hookers. Steve.
Good soup.
Bye, bitch.